Oh, okay, here we go. All right, sweet. Now it's working. Awesome. Hello, hello. How is it going? Back for another stream. All right. StreamYard's pretty cool, but it's way too overpriced. Hello, Chase. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome to the stream. We got some fun times ahead. All right, let's see. Let me just see what we've got. What we got today. So today we're, I guess, gonna go look at some Star Wars stuff, see what's new for Disney Star Wars, look at some expanded universe fan projects. That ain't that the truth, my man. George Lucas Star Wars is indeed the best. I mean, Disney Star Wars, it just has not come close at all. I mean, no hate to anyone that does like Disney Star Wars. You know, you can like what you like, but you know, just I like to post videos showing people that, you know, hey, look, you could be enjoying something a lot better and get more bang for your buck, I guess. Is that the right thing to say? Bang for your buck in terms of Star Wars? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's what I do. Like, even with people I know, outside of YouTube, I just tell them, hey, like, yeah, you like Mandalorian, you like Andor, well, here, look at this comic. But that's probably like the hard thing about the expanded universe. It's that a lot of people, at least the people I know, some of them don't like to read. And I guess that's like what gives Disney Star Wars the advantage, is that, you know, you don't have to read a lot of its content. You can just watch the shows. So Oh, yes, of course. Oh, and I just found out something interesting the other day. It was actually meant to be, I forget what story, but she was actually meant to be interviewing a clone trooper who's gone crazy. It's a scrapped story, but I forget what story it's a part of. But she's meant to have some interaction with a mentally, well, not mentally disturbed, but just a crazy clone trooper, which is pretty cool. I wish they went through with it. I forget what story, but I think it's for it was a source book. It was meant to be included in a source book, but they didn't go through with it. Oh, and or Rogue One are not canon. Well, no, they're Disney Star Wars. It's Disney Star Wars. So, I mean, honestly, they're probably the only. If someone was to ask me, hey, what are the worthwhile stuff in Disney Star Wars? I mean, I haven't watched Andor, but based on what I've been told about it, what I've seen people say, Andor and Rogue One, maybe, and Jedi Fallen Order are probably the only worthwhile stuff. But then I tell them, I'm like, but then what's the point? Like, if those are the only worthwhile stuff, and the rest of the Disney Star Wars canon is just not worth bothering with, what's the point? But like, people are gonna do what they want. I just recommend them. You like Andor? Well, look at the Dark Times comics. You might like that. You like Rogue One? Play Dark Forces. Play Lethal Alliance. But again, it's just for some people they just don't like reading, and that's what can you do? Hey, Trooper. Oh, cool. Yeah, we'll check that out. Definitely. Yeah, we'll check that out on the stream. That's definitely going on the list. Yeah, so that's pretty much, it's been one of the big things I've unfortunately had to experience. Like, some people that just reading just isn't for them, and Disney Star Wars has that advantage where it's like, for people who don't like reading, and I recommend them the audiobooks. And that's probably again, some people just like the visual stuff. It's just, no, well. Actually, we'll actually start looking at it now. Actually, we'll check out your video, your dub now. Just go to your channel. Yeah, the Kenobi show, like, I don't know what they were thinking with that show, man. Like, having Leia hide in Obi-Wan's coat and no one knows. That was so stupid. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. But yeah, like, I thought she was good too. I think she's definitely got a future in acting. It's just a shame that, her debut was the Kenobi show. I hope that doesn't affect her future in acting. I really hope it doesn't. Because, she didn't deserve the Kenobi show. That's for sure. Alright. Let's go look for the... Okay. Oh my god. What's going on? Trooper 269. There we go. Oh, I haven't I haven't really come across anything I mean, maybe, oh, that's a bit hard, like, the expanded universe doesn't have a lot of stuff I hate or dislike. I think, mm, I guess for me, it'd be probably The Last Jedi book. I thought I mean, yeah, that Last Jedi book was kinda eh. I mean, that's probably one of my weaker, books, honestly. And the fact that, they tried to incorporate TCW into it, and then it affects the previous books that came out. It's just, yeah. I mean, that's probably one of the reasons why I don't like it. Okay, so I haven't read the Darth Revan novel yet. But so they do. What is it they do? How do they write Revan in the Exile? Oh, how's it going, Lucky? Yes, I agree. It's just a wasted opportunity. It's just, why was Obi-Wan living so far away from Luke? That's what I don't get. If you're meant to be watching Luke, like keeping an eye on him, making sure he's safe, why would you live so far away? And the fact that that Inquisitor chick turns up to the Lars homestead at the end of the show, and Luke sees her, and it's like, oh, when he sees when Obi-Wan gives him Anakin's lightsaber, it's like, shouldn't he remember, or or at least have some sort of vague memory of someone with a red lightsaber? And the fact that Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fought before A New Hope, like, you think Anakin would have mentioned that duel, considering Obi-Wan, like, embarrassed him? It's just, yeah, it's a terrible show. Oh, okay. Oh, well, then that's good. I mean, at least Kenobi wasn't her first show, thank God. So at least, yeah, at least she's got a future in acting. Thank God the Obi-Wan show wasn't her first debut. Ah, nice. I love the feeling when you find something in amazingly high quality when you're used to finding terrible quality versions of it. Like, I had that with the 1941 Batman. All I found was some really, like, poor quality captures. But then I found one that was 1080p. I would have preferred 4K, but 1080p was a lot better than what I had before. Okay, so we're gonna check out Arc Troopers fan dub. Oh, okay, let me share the screen. I gotta share the screen. Image, share screen, here we go. Oh, got too many tabs open. Oh man. Here we go. Alright, so we're gonna check out Generator Rex. I remember that show. And when they had the crossover with Ben 10. It's been years since I've seen Generator X. Alright, we're gonna check out the fan dub. of Dark Empire.
Puedes superar incalculablemente a tu padre, mi oscuro Jedi.
Okay.
¿Dejarás que tu débil hermana te supere? ¡Levántate! Puedo darte el poder para destruirla. Y vas a aniquilarla si yo te lo ordeno.
¡No! Cometí un error. Creí que debía salvar a la...
Do we have a list of the cast? Here we go. Okay, so oh wow. See, and then you got someone who played Darth Sidious, and then you played as Luke and Leia. Okay.
Galaxia yo solo, por mi cuenta. Pero las sendas de los Jedi no es una solitaria.
¡Ah! ¡El holocrón! Luke, el holocrón me indicó unirme a mi hermano.
Sí, sí, la fuerza nos une, nos conecta. Muchos están luchando esta guerra juntos. Nuestra aliada es la fuerza. Y a través del poder de su fuerza, no permitiré a tu velo de oscuridad nublar mi juicio. ¡Nunca más!
Que así sea entonces. A través del poder de la fuerza, tú serás aniquilado por mí.
That's pretty, I mean, honestly, that's pretty cool. I don't have the confidence to do that sort of thing, like voice acting, honestly. I just don't think I have the talent for it. Well, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I mean, you're definitely better than me at voice acting. Oh, oops. Autoplay. That's annoying. What was it? Yeah, I mean, those restorations, I'm surprised, like, at how well, like, those restorations are, to be honest with you. Oh. How do I cancel? There we go. Yeah, those restorations, not gonna lie, they look pretty good. Oh man, I mean, I haven't watched Ben 10 in a long time, but it is something I have to watch again for nostalgia. But I'm not, honestly, like, retcons are in every franchise. I'm not surprised. But man, they must be really bad. Hello, Fateful Media, how's it going? Yeah, I need to turn it off. Oh, okay. Got a part 2? Alright, right on. I'll check it out. Okay, let me go to shorts. Here we go. Oh man, how do I share screen again? All right.
¡Levántate! Puedo darte el poder para
I like the
destruirla.
music choice.
Y vas a aniquilarla si yo te lo ordeno.
¡No! Cometí un error. Creí que debía salvar a la galaxia yo solo, por mi cuenta. Pero la...
Wait, isn't this just the first one? Did I click the wrong one? Oh, wow, Iron Man the end. I remember this end of this series. That's cool. I've got that. Okay, so it must... Okay, so that must...
¡Levántate!
Okay.
Creí que debía salvar a la galaxia yo solo, por mi cuenta. Pero las sendas de los Jedi no es una solitaria. Sí, sí, la fuerza nos une, nos conecta. Muchos están luchando esta guerra juntos. Nuestra aliada es la fuerza. Y a través del poder en su fuerza, no permitiré a tu velo de oscuridad nublar mi juicio. ¡Nunca más!
That's pretty cool. Oh, nice. Jedi Academy. Union. Oh, yeah, they're married. And then... This is pretty cool. Could I start doing shorts? I haven't had really anything to post for shorts. Is it? That's a good shot.
Levant.
That was pretty cool, man. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, you've shown me that a lot of like HD stuff is just subpar, which is weird. Like, you'd think if you're gonna do it in HD, you'd give it like the best you could do. Alright, so yeah, so that's Art Trooper. Go check out his channel. And as you can see, he's got some good stuff. There's some Ninja Turtles here as well. I mean, TMNT 2003, that was my Ninja Turtles, man. Star Force 1. Isn't that... Is it? Oh no, I'm thinking of someone else. But this guy is, he mainly does Disney Star Wars stuff, so... Oh, is he doing AI as well? Yeah, okay, so Star Force 1's doing AI stuff as well. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know anything about Star Force 1. I thought that was someone else. Let's see. What's this? Oh, wow.
George Lucas, the man who brought you American Graffiti, now bring you an adventure unlike anything on your planet. Star Wars.
Here they come.
The story of a boy, a girl, and a universe.
Oh my god.
It's a big, sprawling space saga of rebellion and romance.
Yeah, I mean, there's only been a few like,
It's a
oh well, that was pretty
spectacle,
good.
light
Most
years
of
ahead of
them
its
are
time.
I am C-3PO, human cyborg relations, and this is my counterpart, R2-D2.
Hello.
It's an epic of heroes.
Yeah. Movie, like, advertising movies are very different.
And villains. And aliens from 1,000 worlds.
Yeah, it is weird. And it's like, it's just showing you so much of the movie, too. Like now they won't show you a lot of the movie. They'll show you bits and pieces, but...
Star Wars. 1 billion years in the making. And it's coming to your galaxy this summer.
So, was that the first trailer? I wonder if that's the first one. Oh, okay. How do I get out of this? There. Alright. Oh, I got autoplay again. God damn, how do I turn off autoplay? It's really annoying. How do I turn it off? Okay. Okay, I think I fixed it. Yes, Yes, the covers, like, I don't like how Disney, I think, isn't Disney using AI for their expanded unit? Well, they call it Legends, but aren't they using AI to generate the covers now? Or was that only a few? Okay, cool. So we just saw the first trailer. Okay. Man, like, trailers back then, I mean, at least I get, like, they showed you a little of the movie, but I guess at least you knew what you were going to be in for by showing you the movie. But it's, I don't know. All right. Okay. I think someone recommended. Oh, okay. All right, we'll check that out. Fateful Media. Let me type it up. Fateful Media. 383. Okay, here we go. Found you. Oh, wow. Oh, Darth Knox, the Ascent. Okay. Okay, so it's 14 minutes. Let me. Hey, how's it going? Okay. I will admit, some of their new covers haven't been very appealing to me. But then I haven't seen all of them. Well, I think there was maybe one or two that I thought was pretty good, but okay. Alright, so oh, awesome. How'd you find it? I just managed to get an actual hard copy, like a not paperback, hardcover of Revenge of the Sith novelization. Oh, I'm loving it. It's great. Like, I've already read it, but just actually reading it again, like physically. Oh man, it's awesome. All right, so we're gonna check out Fateful Media's Darth Knox video. Making okay, just had a notification, but everything's all good. Oh man, StreamYard's pretty good, but I don't really want to pay the overpriced. Okay, so it's working.
The Empire's champion, my lord.
Moths, generals. Today you will see who holds the real power in the Sith Empire. Not the Dark Council, not Thanaton. Me. When I finish my ascent, all will bow or face my might.
Oh nice, this is looking good. It's a good, yes, wow. It says, I like the soundtrack, man. It's pretty good. That's awesome. Okay, well, we'll check it out then. We'll check that out. Oh, this is pretty good. This video is pretty good, man. Nice work, Fateful Media. This is pretty good. I'm liking it. I love that image. That's I've always loved that. Amazing. I mean, everything is great. Lord Zad. And the Old Republic is just like, I love the Old Republic, especially the cinematics. Oh man, I've been rewatching them lately. It's just perfect. Look at this. Like, this all could have been adapted into movies. Such a shame. No, well, it is what it is. I'd like to play the MMO, but then it's... I don't know. I've just watched videos on YouTube for like important moments, people playing it. This is good, so guys, check out Faithful Media. Faithful Media, 3383. This is a great video, I'm really liking it. Yeah, the fan-made theme song is really good. It's good, I'm glad you used it, because it's real. I definitely like it. It's 10 out of 10, man. Yeah, MMOs aren't really... I tried to get into MMOs, but not even like a Star Wars MMO could really keep me interested. So I just watched videos on YouTube of the major story beats. Look at that. There he is. Like, I'm not expecting the Fate of the Old Republic to really touch any of this, but I would genuinely be surprised if they did, but I doubt it. Machinima, oh god, I remember Machinima. Oh god, yeah, the Jack and Daxter games, that was Naughty Dog at its peak. Last of Us 1 was pretty good. I liked the first Last of Us, but I've never touched the second one because of how they did Joel dirty. Oh, look at that. Geonosians. You just saw Geonosians. That's pretty cool. Did you guys see that? It was pretty quick. Darth Malgus. That is really intimidating. Awesome. He's grabbing sources from all over the expanded universe. That's pretty cool. Why couldn't this have just been Total 3 instead of the MMO? Yeah. Now, I mean, yeah, it might surprise everyone. You never know, but I don't know. Like, yeah, I'd wait. The thing is, I don't know if I'd get it even just to review it on the channel or talk about it. I don't know if I ever would do it. Because the thing is, like, if it's going to be purely within, oh, Yoda Dark Rendezvous. No, I love it. You're grabbing sources from everywhere. Yeah, if it's part of the Disney canon, then I probably won't touch it. Like, 'cause, yeah, Disney canon just really isn't for me. I would be greatly surprised if it was purely an extended universe story, but I'm sure they've clarified what continuity is. Oh, damn. It's always this theme that, I mean, it always gives me a little shock seeing someone get their neck snapped with the force. There's a lightsaber design in here. Oh, Backseater, how's it going? Darth Watts made a video called Why Dave Filoni Star Wars movie will be the move. Okay, we'll check that out, because that's not the case.
The blending of younger forms,
But,
and all
thank
of them in
you for
moderation. In the blending, much of the individuality is lost, but the strengths
same,
are
like,
spread evenly,
if
and there
it's
is little
with
weakness
people that will
in
enjoy
it.
it,
Its
yeah.
great strength is the way it allows the force to flow through you,
You know, I'm glad they will be able to
revitalizing
get
one,
the
even
enjoyment
in
I
the middle of
can.
combat.
It is
Others may
interesting.
come with time, with experience. Perhaps one of the greatest styles, learned only by the most skilled of force
Yeah, I mean,
wielers.
I think
Impressive. In many
I
ways,
remember it being
some
a
have
big
described
thing,
it as
like,
a surrender to
around
the
the time of
force
the
and to
Awakens, that
chaos,
he became
to
a
strike at an
clown
opponent with such speed and
or
angles of
something
attack
on that
that they have
movie.
difficulty countering it. Your number of
I
attacks
don't
will
know.
increase,
I
and you will
vaguely
notice many
remember.
more of them shall
I
slip
think
beneath
when
an
The Force
opponent's
Awakens
guard,
came out,
critically wounding them. But in surrendering yourself to the force in such a way, reduces your
Pretty
ability to
much,
resist
yeah.
its effects should the enemy turn the force against you. Be on your guard. Others may come with time, with experience.
So, yeah, Kodo, yeah, I haven't played Kodo 2 yet. First one, on PC with mod, oh my god. But I call everything Extreme Universe. I don't know, man. It's just Extreme Universe makes me all like Disney Star Wars and actually, you know. Fury class interceptor. I mean, I like how the Galactic Empire, like in universe, that Palpatine would have taken inspiration for his military designs from like earlier Sith empires. I just think that's pretty cool. Rakatan, Mother Machine. Yes, the Rakatan. They're in Disney Star Wars, aren't they? I remember people saying they were referenced in Andor or something. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can fix that. Maybe I should turn the background music on. Priya, I've seen essay videos on her. I will not be surprised if he's. I mean, I don't blame him. He is a great character. I haven't watched him, but I can't. You know, but, you know, from what people are saying, it sounds like it's a good show, which, you know, I don't doubt it's a good show, considering how passionate Look at that. Oh, wow. See, I can't pronounce it. Tarantatek? Tarantatek? Did I say that right? Looks really cool, though. Star Wars D2O RPG, The Dark Side Sourcebook. Yeah, man. Making my EU videos, the source books, when they, like, the RPG
Good
source
riddance
books
to it.
paid so much
He was a
into the
better
lore.
Sith than you give him credit for, Ravage.
Let us hope his successor is as worthy. My lord, your seat.
Finally, the recognition I deserve. Is there a fancy title to go with it?
He is only a lord. You can't put a lord on the Dark Council.
Quiet, Ravage. He's earned his place.
Is this? Did they use the same engine for Mass
By
Effect?
order of the Dark
I've always
Council
wondered
and in
that.
light of your reputation as a master of the dark side, you are now Darth Nox.
Dark Knight.
You are head of the Pyramid of Ancient Knowledge. You are charged with keeping the mystical knowledge of the Sith and guarding the secrets of our order. With us, you are ruler of all the Sith, answerable only to the
Video
Emperor
not
himself.
getting more views. It's just
I will do my best to live up to my new position.
Never trust the humble ones.
Our business here is complete. You would do well to meet with your followers on Droman cars and ensure their loyalty. We will summon you the next time the Dark Council congregates.
oh man. Man, look how. Oh wow. Okay, so there's autoplay. God damn it.
The Empire.
Every time I turn it off, it just turns back on. But that was Fateful Media. And he's only got 492 views. How is that possible? How is that even possible? Yeah, so guys, check out Faithful Media. That was a great video. That was a amazing video on Darth Nox. Okay, so we'll check out Darth Watts. Okay, so Darth Watts is his name. Darth Watts. I mean, this has to be him, right?
This is Darth.
Is this him? Has to be 10k subs. There we go. Okay, so it's only 4 minutes. No comments? That can't be right. What? No one's made an opinion? Really? Okay. All right. Hey, Grandmaster. Oh, wow. See, that's the thing. I'd imagine, like, there's still films, music to this day that are lost, but probably will be found. Like, I wish that wasn't the case, though. I wish we had everything. Okay, so let's check out this video.
What is up, Star Wars fans?
Ahsoka. Eesh, that show was not good. I mean, if you liked a Ahsoka show, I'm glad you were able to enjoy it. I didn't watch it. I'm not Ahsoka's not really a character I like. I don't hate Ahsoka. It's just I just don't like her. She's never really interested me. But I know these are zombie storm. Well, they do become zombie stormtroopers.
This is Darth Watson, and in this video we are going to be talking about the 2028 Star Wars movie and why Dave
2028? What movie is that?
Filoni Star Wars movie will likely be the top pick.
Okay, so that's his movie.
For
Okay.
Lucasfilm to release in 2028. And the reason why I say that over the new Jedi Order Star Wars movie, the Rey movie, which some people are saying out there, and the reason why I say that is because the Dave Filoni Star Wars movie will likely be more of a success than the new Jedi Order Star Wars.
Would it though? Was Ahsoka a success for Disney Plus? Does anyone know? That was the only episode I watched. I remember like it blowing up on YouTube and people were talking about it. That was the only one I watched, and it just live or die. What does that even mean? Okay. We'll have to check that out. Yeah. No one knows. I've seen people interpret it, but there's never been a definitive. Like, I feel like that's why Dave Filoni writes like that. Because then it's like it's open to interpretation. People can hype over it, and then when he comes up with the actual reason for it, it's nowhere near as impressive as the fan theories.
Wars movie during that time. And also, it seems like that Lucasfilm cannot come up with a fully complete story for the new Jedi Order Star Wars movie that Kathleen Kennedy is happy with, and they've gone through a few writers already. So
that always happens with Disney Star Wars. Like, didn't that Solo movie go through a bunch of directors and writers before they settle on Ron Howard?
It looks like that this movie is going to be set aside for a very long time with the Charmin Obey-Chinoy Star Wars movie, and it might not even happen at all. It might get canceled, it probably get recycled, and they might end up going for the Hunt for Ben Solo movie if they ever decide to do that. And I think the Hunt for...
What is the Hunt for Ben Solo? I don't know anything about that. Did they have any sort of plot for this movie? Or was it just the title of the movie was revealed and that's what got all the Disney Star Wars fans hyped?
Ben Solo movie sounds like a better idea. Even that movie would be a better idea than the Charmin Obey-Chinoy New Jedi Order Star Wars movie, but it looks like with Dave Filoni Star Wars movie, it's most likely going to be the top pick for Disney and Lucasfilm. And Dave Filoni Star Wars movie is going to be titled Heir to the Empire is what...
Oh, no, man. Your writing I've found to be immensely more enjoyable than anything Dave Filoni has written. Yeah, not surprised. Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I'm glad the expanded universe wasn't, carried on by Disney, because like, imagine how they would have fumbled it. I mean, yeah, it sucks. We don't have the Force Unleashed 3. We don't have KOTOR 3. We didn't get Star Wars 1313. We didn't get conclusions to a lot of stories, but really, I think that's probably the best outcome. But then that could be changed at any moment. I think that's what a lot of people should remember. At any moment, Disney could decide, yeah, we're gonna make, expanded universe books in games and stuff as well. You never know. That I think that is a possibility. And I think, I won't I don't think it will not be a day to celebrate. Well, yeah. I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all. I think Ron Howard did a good job with what he's got. I mean, the Solo movie is definitely the weakest, in my opinion, but you know, it's leagues better than Last Jedi. Yeah, I mean, with the books, you couldn't adapt everything because, I mean, just like with the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings films, he couldn't put everything into film. There would have to be stuff left out, and I think people would have been upset about that. And I think people wouldn't understand that not everything that's in a book can be translated easily into film. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's honestly what they should do. But I don't think they have the writing talent that would, make very satisfying loose threads. You might get a few that would be, oh wow, this is a pretty good like conclusion, but I don't know, man. Like based on what I've seen on the books and comics, I just don't think they have a lot of writing talent. I mean, that's not to say that all of them are bad writers. I mean, it's unrealistic to say that no one at Disney could be competent or good at writing it. It's just it's more the direction they're going, if that makes sense. Yeah. I think a TV show would be better. Exactly. I hate Apocalypse War though. I hate that movie. I just don't like it. I mean, it's good in some areas, but man, like it still seems how Superboy and Batwoman, Batgirl, seeing how they died, it still haunts me to this day. And seeing Starfire's gored corpse, man, that still haunts me. That movie haunts me. I just feel like the movie was made in like spite. I feel like a lot of spite was made. But then again, maybe that's because I didn't like how the Paradooms killed all our heroes. I will admit though, Apocalypse War had probably one of the best Superman moments where he saves Raven. Like he stops Raven from unaliving herself. Like that's pure Superman. Just the way they did it. That's probably the best moment in that movie, and that's it.
I'm predicting, and the reason why I'm saying that is because we had Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
Oh god, Thrawn and Ahsoka. From what I've seen, from what I saw, that's not Thrawn. He was an idiot. Unless someone who saw the show can tell me, no, actually Thrawn was quite competent and explained, but from what I saw, he was just a moron. Like, I guarantee you, like, even people who didn't read the Thrawn trilogy or the Thrawn duology, they are not anticipating Thrawn in any future projects. They don't, dread him as, people would have in the 90s after reading the Thrawn trilogy, like when the Thrawn duology was announced. Yikes. So does that... I thought Acolyte was the lowest rated finale. Oh, I didn't mind the DCAMU. I didn't mind it. I liked it. I mean, it's got nothing on the DCAU. DCAU is the best. I think that one's got the best version of Superman and Batman ever. But I liked the DCAMU for the most part. I just didn't like Apocalypse War. Yes, I remember. I hear that. Yes, yes, I remember that. He was gonna do Apocalypse Now, like. And fun fact. Well, I don't know if this is true, but George Lucas went to. Like, I don't know if he was drafted or if he willingly went to go to Vietnam during the war, but he got turned away because he had diabetes. I don't know if that's true. But if that is true, we may not have gotten Star Wars. Because, something might have, I don't know. If that's true, is that true? I mean, that's what I've heard. I've heard people say that. He could have, to be honest, I'm a bit of a Marvel and DC casual right now. I am changing that because I've been downloading all the comics and for Marvel and DC at the moment, so that will change. But I guess from a casual, I thought the DCMU was good, but maybe once I start reading the comics after I've downloaded all of them or most of them, my opinion will probably change. Yeah, apparently the Disney Thrawn trilogy is good, but again, I haven't read it, so I don't know how true that is. I've heard that that's pretty good, especially the Sky. Is it Skybound? I've heard that's good too. Oh yeah, is that? I know Arrow vs Superman is really good. Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched Arrow vs Superman. I've seen clips, especially when he's in that diner, and someone has. I don't know who it is. Maybe it's a friend or someone he's got issues with, but someone shoots. He shoots at him, and then he like does that, pulling his shirt, showing the S, and it stops the bullet. I've seen bits of Arrow vs Superman. He's really good, but yeah, I have to watch it. Maybe my opinion will change. I need to as well. I've seen a lot of good things about it.
In Ahsoka Season 1, Dave Filoni said that Ahsoka Season 2 needs to happen before a Star Wars movie.
Why though? Season 1 was just boring.
And with the way Dave Filoni is bringing back Thrawn as an idea that Dave Filoni is pulling from the EU, and
it's not really. He's not pulling from the EU really. It's just Thrawn. Okay, nothing about the Ahsoka show is from the EU. The only thing from the EU that's in the Ahsoka show is Thrawn, as far as I know.
All this heir to the Empire stuff with the New Republic.
How is Filoni meant to do a Disney version of Heir to the Empire? If anything, it might just be Heir to the Empire in name only if he ends up being that unoriginal.
A lot of those ideas are going to be taken from the EU, from the...
Well, not really. There's nothing from the Thrawn trilogy you could put into Disney canon after the Ahsoka show. It just wouldn't fit.
Thrawn trilogy, but it's going to be in a very different way from what Legends set up Thrawn and the EU and the New Republic. It's going to be in a very different way after the events of...
Well, I mean, yeah, very different. Like, who's Sabaoth? Like, is there going to be a Sabaoth character? Where's Pelion? Like,
Return of the Jedi, and it's going to be a
Rook is dead. He died in Rebels. Like, Leia is... Well, I guess she would be pregnant at this point. But the thing is, Luke, Leia, and Han, I'm willing to bet, are not going to be characters in that movie. It won't be because of Leia, you know, Leia had a hand in Thrawn's death in the expanded universe. Because she helps the Nogri realize that they were just slaves. Like, really, it was Leia that defeated Thrawn. It'll be Ahsoka that does it in Disney Star Wars. This is the first I've heard of that. Is it an alternate universe where Iron Man is evil? I don't. A comic book that Iron Man is evil and a bad character. Well, he's not a bad character. That's just false to say. God. Oh my god. I mean, how long were the Ahsoka episodes? Were they like 40 minutes? An hour each or something? That's bad. What? Why is there hate on Iron Man? Yeah, oh god. I remember the day I heard she passed away. Oh man. See, that's the thing, like Disney has like the sequel trilogy was an awful reunion for the original trilogy cast. And we'll never get, you know, anyway. Okay, so 40 minutes. Jeez. It cut down to 15 minutes. That's hilarious. There's so much like garbage in the episode. Oh my god. And I'm assuming like your friend was a fan of the show or actually liked the show. And he just cut it, they just cut it down to be more digestible.
Canon version of the Thrawn trilogy, and there's gonna be probably 2 other Star Wars films if Dave Filoni ends up deciding to do it, which I think he will. There's gonna be 2 following Star Wars films, and Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie could be the first of an actual Mandoverse trilogy that ties into all of the Mandoverse, and it's Heir to the Empire, Dark.
Didn't we already have a Mandoverse trilogy? Wasn't that the Mandalorian show?
Forces Rising, The Last Command.
Oh, come on, man. He's not going to.
It'll be a new Thrawn trilogy, but in a very different. It's going to be very different from what Legends had for the Thrawn
Did I rewind the video, or is he just repeating the same thing?
Trilogy, and it's going to be the canon version of the Thrawn trilogy, and it'll be told on screen. So I would be super excited.
I don't know, man. I mean, this might just be a wild idea, but I prefer to see the original Thrawn trilogy on the big screen, not what Dave Filoni would write.
Excited about this, even though I do like the EU, but I acknowledge that the EU was never canon, and it was never canon by George Green. So I would be super excited about this, even though I do like the EU, but I acknowledge that the EU was never canon.
Well, it was canon. It was official Lucasfilm canon. It may not have been George's personal canon, but it was canon. I mean, George had George had the power to retcon whatever he wanted. He's the guy who created Star Wars. So, yeah, it would not. It definitely Anyway, I've already explained this.
And it was never canon by George Lucas. I mean,
yeah. I mean, he didn't write the stories, but he approved of them. He allowed them to exist. It's just when he had an idea, he had a story that he wanted to do, that would take priority. So, I mean, I've explained this like hundreds of times.
Dave Filoni even said, according to George Lucas, only the films and what was on screen was canon, and George Lucas viewed the EU and his Star Wars movies as two separate universes. So, Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie is going to be the canon version of Heir to the Empire. I strongly believe that.
I don't know. Oh, anyway.
That is the case. It'll be having Thrawn as the main villain in Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie. Thrawn will become the main villain of Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie, and will be the heir to the Empire because of Ahsoka in season 1 and setting up Thrawn, and we'll see some more build.
Yeah, so I mean, I guarantee you, Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, they're not going to appear. They're not going to appear at all. It's just going to be Ahsoka and Sabine and Ezra and whoever else.
Up with Thrawn in season.
Oh man, that's I mean, hey, at least he was able to edit it down to something he was able to enjoy a lot more. I wish I was able to do that. Yeah. Well, you just gotta show them, you know. You just gotta tell them, hey, you know, it's actually this, it's actually that. I mean, it's very well, I don't know. It's very like, I don't want to use hopium, but you know, he's very hyped about the Filoni stuff, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, what? Why get hyped about Filoni stuff? Yeah, like, it'd be hilarious if Thrawn dies before the movie comes out. Or what if Thrawn ends up dying in the first 10 minutes of the movie and he's not actually the main villain? Oh my god.
Season 2, and it'll lead right into Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie, but Thrawn will be the greatest threat to the New Republic.
No, he's not. No, I've seen like video essays on this. He's not the biggest threat at all. Just, he's not. In the show, it's like, how is he even a threat? Oh yeah, like if you like the Ahsoka show, I don't have any ill will against you. I just want to make that clear. I like to poke fun, but if you like it, hey, I'm glad you were able to like it. But hey, you know what? You should just have a look at the expanded universe. You know, that's what I like to tell people. But yeah, I'm glad, you know, if you like it, you're able to get something out of it that I can't. So zombies. Oh. Were they zombies? Were they really zombies? Or were they just like mind controlled? I don't know. I don't know, and I don't really care.
During that time period, Thrawn is the heir to the Empire. He's in Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie, and it's going to be a new canon version of the heir.
He's just repeating himself. No hate against you, man, but you're just repeating yourself. What else has he done? Oh god, Mandalorian and Grogu. Oh man, I forgot that even existed. Okay, is there any other video? Alright, so has anyone got any other recommended videos? Yeah, that's what I do. Like I said, I like to poke fun at it, but you know, if you like it, that's great. You know, I'm glad you're able to enjoy it. Oh, okay. So it's like TCW with the Zombie Night Sisters. Does anyone else want to recommend a video they want to show? Or oh, okay. Let's try. Let's check that out. Okay. Here we go.
For all of you expanded universe fanboys out there who are coming on my channel trying to convince me that Star Wars Legends was canon at one point, which Star Wars Legends, as we know, was never canon according to George Lucas.
Well, again, it was Lucasfilm canon. It was official canon to Lucasfilm until George felt that he wanted his story to be the priority.
Because George Lucas considered Legends the parallel universe, although he did take ideas from the expanded universe, but that's not the same as considering the expanded universe ever being considered canon. George Lucas signed off on it, but that doesn't mean he considers it a part of his vision. So, sequel trilogy on page 500, of course, sequel trilogy. I'm going to show you right over on 484. Let me get to it. All right. So it goes on right here. There is a passage right here where George Lucas talked about his plans for a third Star Wars trilogy. So for those of you out there who are saying, well, George Lucas only had vague ideas and that he never wrote stories for a...
Oh, wow. That's why they kept missing. Then after the Rebels won, there were no more stormtroopers in my version of the third trilogy. I had planned for the first trilogy to be about the father, the second trilogy to be about the son, and the third trilogy to be about the daughter and the grandchildren. Oh, wow. Episodes 7, 8, and 9 would take ideas from what happened after the Iraq War. Oh, wow. Okay, you fought the war, you've killed everybody, now what are you going to do? Rebuilding afterwards is harder than starting a rebellion or fighting the war. When you win the war and you disband... Oh my god! The stormtroopers would be like Saddam Hussein's Ba'athist fighters that joined ISIS and kept on fighting. Oh my god. That's cool. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool, man. I love this sort of connection to geopolitics that he's making. The stormtroopers refuse to give up when the Republic win. They want to be stormtroopers forever, so they go to far corner together, start their own country, and then their own rebellion. There's a power vacuum, so gangsters like the Hutts. Wow. Wow. That's cool. I love that. Oh my god, sorry guys, I knocked the cord on my microphone. It ended up going at the back of my PC. Sorry, where was I? That's awesome. That is awesome. Like, see, like Star Wars, that just shows like how much he draws from politics, the geopolitical stuff. Oh, that's so cool. I'm fascinated by the War on Terror. Obviously, if you watch my Resident Evil video on how 9/11 and Resident Evil connect, I'm fascinated by that period. And to see that George was gonna base like the sequel trilogy on that, I'm mind blown, not gonna lie. But yeah, of course, if George was to do his sequel trilogy, it would have retconned the post Return of the Jedi EU. I think that's just sadly the case. I mean, I like this idea he had, but then on the other hand, we would have lost a lot of post Return of the Jedi. I mean, if we look at, well, I don't know, I'd say TCW is an example, but then, I mean, that's T canon. So that pretty much tells me that, yeah, George considered it important, but his movies would have, if he were to make any movies, it could have retconned, pardon me, it could have retconned TCW as well. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, anyway.
Sequel trilogy. Well, the part where he have a
Okay,
500 through 503. You can see this. I'm not going to read it all for you. You can pause the video and read it for yourself. But it talks about George Lucas's plans for a sequel trilogy.
Okay, so yeah, it's pretty much already. Anyway, why is Star Wars Theory on my recommended? Get out of here. I don't hate Star Wars Theory, but his channel is just slop. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, in my experience, I haven't been dismissed by Disney fans in my experience, but I can't speak for anyone else, but in my experience, I've been able to have pretty good conversations with Disney Star Wars fans, and they've been able to see my point of view on, like, they've been able to see what expanded universe fans are saying. So, oh yes, okay, we'll check that out. Yes, yeah, Geatleys. Oh, I remember that channel. I remember that. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, if he was to do, I mean, he said he was going to do sequels, and then he said he wasn't going to do it. I mean, at the end of the day, I think if he was to do it, it would have retconned post Return of the Jedi EU. I think that would have been the case. Honestly, I mean, if we're just George, wasn't beholden to the EU. He respected it. He acknowledged its importance to Star Wars, but he wasn't going to be beholden to it. And I think, he is the creator of Star Wars, and he shouldn't be beholden. I mean, I wish he would have been beholden to it, to be honest, but he wasn't. So, okay. So, so we'll check out that, where is it? Lucas directing Apocalypse Now. Okay, we'll check that out. George Lucas directing Pop. Oh, God, there we go. So what was the channel called again? Okay. Oh, no, that's Cinema Tyler. Maybe if I put the channel name in. Is that it? Is it Cinema Tyler? Oh my God, it is it. Wait, no, that's... Yeah, no, it is Cinema Tyler. Oh my God, can I read?
Months ago, a man was ordered on a mission which was identical to yours. We have reason to believe that he is now operating with Colonel Kurtz.
The germ of Apocalypse Now may very well have started back in 1962.
Kurtz.
That's pretty funny, not gonna lie.
The germ of Apocalypse Now may very well have started back in 1962, when a 17-year-old John Milius was first introduced to Joseph Conrad's novella, Heart of Darkness, by his high school English teacher in Colorado. About 5 years later at USC Film School, Milius would talk endlessly about how he wanted to make a movie about the Vietnam War with fellow student George Lucas. The young Milius, Lucas, and future Apocalypse Now editor Walter Murch would drive to Burbank to hang out with Coppola and others at Coppola's office on the Warner Brothers lot. Coppola said, "We sat around."
Yeah, I mean, I think if he was, I think it's pretty evident if he was ever going to. I mean, obviously he isn't, but I think had he made the decision to do it, it would have retconned post Return of the Jedi EU. I think that. I mean, I wish it wouldn't have. I wish he would have made 7, 8, and 9. That fit with the expanded universe, but I just don't think that would have been the case with George. I mean, if you look at TCW, I mean, yeah, that's T canon, but he retconned a lot of the Clone Wars EU. He retconned a lot of the, well, I guess at that time it wasn't really a retcon. I don't know. I don't know how you would. I don't know if it's a retcon, but he ignored a lot of the Clone Wars multimedia project. I think that's just a good indicator that he would have done the same with his sequel trilogy had he done it. But then obviously he decided not to do them, and he let the EU be the replacement. So, had he decided to do it, I think it would have retconned a lot of the post-Return of the Jedi. Yeah, I mean, TCW especially, I think it's just a good indicator. I wish that wasn't the case. I wish it wasn't, but it is what it is. But, it never happened, so it never happened. I wish we got a 7, 8, and 9 from George that, was faithful to the expanded universe, but I don't think that would have happened. But then again, maybe he would have decided. I mean, but then again, that sequel trilogy idea he wrote, it might have just been the idea he had at the time, and then maybe he would have changed his mind and decided to fit with the expanded universe. I mean, he could have changed his mind. I mean, we never know. I mean, I don't know, man. Let's continue.
Talking about our dreams. Obviously, many of them were trying to get their projects going. I recall George Lucas and John Milius mentioning a lot of guys who were returning from Vietnam, bringing word of the craziness of it, the drugs, the hallucination, the surfing, and they were cooking up a script that John would write for George to direct.
Terminate with extreme prejudice. Are you an assassin or a soldier?
Lucas said, "At the time I was working on an idea to do a student film about a soldier doing hand-to-hand combat with a P-51 Mustang, and it was out of those conversations that we developed Apocalypse Now in terms of what it became. I'm not sure how you can do hand-to-hand combat with a plane, but okay." Lucas had directed an incredibly well-made short film during his undergrad called Electronic Labyrinth, THX 1138 4EB. It won the top prize at a student film festival, and Lucas was offered a scholarship to go to Warner Brothers every day for 6 months and watch them make a movie.
Yeah, they have a work scholarship where you get to work at a major studio for 6 months, for about a little bit of money, and you go there every day and watch them make movies. That's how I met Francis, was on one of those scholarships.
The film he chose to observe being made was Francis Ford Coppola's Finian's Rainbow.
Well, and one day I was working on the show, and I kept seeing a skinny kid with a beard, and he was always looking. I went up to him and I said, well, I said, who's that?
I would like to see the students be able to work in the establishment and hope that someday they can work in the establishment and change the establishment rather than trying to branch off into something else.
Later, Lucas and Coppola from their indie studio American Zoetrope decided to expand Electronic Labyrinth into a full-length feature. This was THX 1138. In 1970, at the official launch party for American Zoetrope, they talked about how Apocalypse Now would be Lucas's second feature film after THX 1138. John Milius and Walter Murch were there, and the plan was that Milius would write it, Lucas would shoot it, and Murch would do the post-production. Filming was going to begin in 1971. The idea was to shoot Apocalypse Now like a documentary in black and white on 16mm, quote, in the rice fields between Stockton and Sacramento, California. A friend and business partner named Gary Kurtz, no joke, took a trip to the Philippines to scout some locations there. but Milius suggested, jokingly perhaps, to shoot it on location in Vietnam while the war was still going. Of course, it would be near impossible to finance a film meant to be shot in a war zone.
But we wanted to actually go to Vietnam. And it was really,
not George.
I mean, but there were other people, you know, who, part of our group, who would never, they would sooner go to Canada than be in the army, or they would sooner do something really rash, like get married or something.
That's interesting because, I don't know if any of you know about 6 Days in Fallujah. That originally was a game set in Iraq during the Battle of Fallujah. It was meant to come out in 2009 while America was still in Iraq. That game got cancelled because of massive media backlash. Would that movie, had they made the movie during the Vietnam War, do you think that would have been the same case? Do you think it would have received massive backlash? Or would it have been, you know, well received? I don't know. I think that's interesting. I don't know if that's a worthy parallel to make, but
they were perfectly willing to go make a movie in Vietnam.
In a separate interview, Milius said, "We were going to make Apocalypse Now for $1.5 million in Vietnam. We got all these connections. We got people who were generals in the Air Force, and people who were going to help us get around. I remember all these guys around Francis at the time who were hippies and extreme political radicals. They all wanted to go make this movie. They wanted to go to Vietnam without any protection whatsoever and hop around through the minefields. We came pretty close, but then the studios started saying, why are we sending these hippies over there? They're a bunch of nuts. Some of them will be killed. There's a real war over there. So they stopped us. I mean, this was a time when there were riots in the streets about the war, and a studio executive is the last person who's going to want to get involved in the middle of that. Hollywood isn't exactly known for its social courage. Perhaps the main thing that got these UCLA and USC kids with no military experience to agree to go into a war zone for the sake of art was a movie called Medium Cool. Medium Cool was shot like a hybrid documentary and narrative, where the director had the actors go to the Democratic National Convention in Chicago with a, quote, partial screenplay. Stephen Travers writes, the actors, playing journalists, moved around on camera along the periphery of the worst riot in American history, mouthing scripted words mixed with reality TV response to the violence about them. Lucas wanted the movie to be like the Battle of Algiers, with that handheld cinema verite style, made using simple equipment capturing quote-unquote realism by avoiding artistic effects. Milius and Lucas were into the cinema verite style at the time, but Milius said that he realized that it could only sustain for 30 minutes. Lucas decided that he would make the movie after a small personal project called American Graffiti. American Graffiti even had a character based on Milius named John Milner.
You got just 2 seconds. Get your ass over in your corner.
In the spring of 1974,
Kennedy has told me that there are different versions of the movie, which I never knew.
Coppola met with co-producers Fred Roos and Gray Fredrickson to talk about going forward with Milius' screenplay. However, Milius said that once American Graffiti was a big hit and made Lucas rich, Lucas didn't really feel like going into the jungle to hang out with deadly insects anymore. Instead, he wanted to make an adaptation of Flash Gordon, and when he couldn't get the rights, he decided to make his own space battle movie called Space Battles. Wait, no, Star Wars. Lucas doesn't agree with this, saying, I couldn't get the same terms Francis had gotten at Warner's, it was much less. But he was determined to hang on to the same number of points, his old number, so whatever Columbia took, I had to give up. My points were going to shrink way down, and I wasn't going to do the film for free. He had the right to do it, it's in his nature, but at the same time, I was annoyed about it. We couldn't get any cooperation from any of the studios or military, but once I had American Graffiti behind me, I tried again and pretty much got a deal at Columbia. We scouted locations in the Philippines and we were ready to go. By the way, points are a percentage of the movie's profit. However, Columbia wanted all the rights that Zoetrope was going to get. Lucas goes on to say, the deal collapsed, and when the deal collapsed, I started working on Star Wars. Walter Murch believes that Lucas made American Graffiti to prove to the studios that he could make a commercially successful movie and have the leverage he needed to get Apocalypse Now off the ground. But once American Graffiti was successful, he was still having trouble getting financing because of the subject matter. Murch said, Lucas asked himself the question, what is it about Apocalypse that I'm really interested in making? It was a story of how a small group of people, the Vietnamese, could possibly withstand the entire might of the US ranged against them, and in the end, come out victorious. What does that say about the human spirit? And since it wasn't possible for him to make Apocalypse, He transformed that story and set it in a galaxy long ago and far away. So Star Wars is George's version of Apocalypse Now,
but just nowhere near as gory as Apocalypse Now.
Rewritten in an otherworldly context. The rebels in Star Wars are the Vietnamese, and the Empire is the United States. So Coppola asked Milius to direct Apocalypse Now, but he was busy working on The Wind and the Lion.
I said, I don't know, I'm in a real pickle here, because what we really need is we need a movie that is a big hit so we can make a lot of money, so then we can make all these little art films that we want to make.
Apparently, after reading the screenplay to Star Wars, Coppola gave Lucas an ultimatum, and Lucas chose Star Wars. Coppola was now in a bit of a predicament. Zoetrope owned the script, so he decided that he would just make it himself. Coppola said, I went to George Lucas, I told him we have to do Apocalypse Now. I said make it, and at that point he was into Star Wars. Lucas told Coppola, if you want to go make it, go make it. Coppola said okay, but his idea was to go the opposite way of George Lucas's handheld 16mm black and white war movie, and instead make it a huge IMAX spectacle war epic, something like The Guns of Navarone, and then make a ton of money and use that money to finance all these little art films they wanted to make. After all, he had only gotten the opportunity to make The Conversation because of the success of The Godfather.
Don't ask me about my business, Kate.
Despite Coppola and Lucas's conversation, Lucas was apparently disappointed that Coppola did take the reins of the project. Lucas said, all Francis did was take a project I was working on, put it in a package deal, and suddenly he owned it. Lucas had tried very hard to get the project off the ground, and as Stephen Travers writes, quote, Coppola asked him to direct, but he declined in favor of Star Wars. Yet Lucas felt a certain sense of entitlement, that his Vietnam movie was still his regardless of the contractual realities, and that it should still be there waiting for him to make it after he wrapped Star Wars. Milius said, I was always on Francis' side. George had nothing whatsoever to do with it, other than the fact that he was going to direct it. Just go do your—
Did that say Rambo?
George had nothing whatsoever to do with it, other than the fact that he was going to direct it. Just go do your Vietnam thing, John. Francis gave George ample opportunity to make the movie. George never did. He was too good for it. Francis has a lot of terrible qualities. He's a supreme egoist, and he'll take everything for himself. He is like what they said of Napoleon. He was as great as a man could be without virtue. But if Francis hadn't done it, that movie never would have been made.
I was always hoping, if I could make one big success, then I'd have all this money, and then I'd just spend that money making films like George always tells me he's gonna do. George Lucas is a very interesting experimental filmmaker, and he's gonna shock everybody because he's got the dough. He's just gonna go off and make a film someday, and but he has a very exotic side of him, which I would love to see. And he promises me he's going to do it, and I believe him.
The interesting thing, though, is that these more recent small films of Coppola's, like Tetro, were actually financed by Coppola's wine business instead of the money he made in the film industry. By the way, you can now purchase your very own bottle of Apocalypse Now wine. It says that they, quote, created a wine that is as bold and exciting as the film itself. In the summer of 1974, Coppola decided that he would make the film, but he did not expect it to be so difficult. He had suggested that the film would be ready in time for America's bicentennial on July 4th, 1976. The movie would actually come out in 1979. So Coppola's idea was to make the film a big epic spectacle in order to finance smaller films. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Coppola wanted the production of Apocalypse Now to be similar to how the Americans did the Vietnam War, so that the making of the film would also be what the film is about. But what would be the cost of taking on such a project? Well, shortly after the film was finished, Coppola reflected on his journey at the Cannes Film Festival in a press conference he is now kind of embarrassed by.
We were in the jungle. There were too many of us. We had access to too much money. Too much equipment. And little by little we went insane.
The full quote, which we never really see, continues with Coppola saying, "After a while, I was a little frightened because I was getting deeper in debt and no longer recognized the kind of movie I was making. The film was making itself, or the jungle was making it for me." To help fund this series, I made a 25-page digital companion booklet for $1, where I tell you the story of George Lucas making the short film that would get his foot in the door of the film industry and change cinema history forever. It also includes my thoughts on the Scorsese controversy, where he said that Marvel movies are not cinema, now that Francis Ford Coppola has weighed in, as well as my responses to some selected comments on episode 1 that I found interesting. It's $1, and you can pay easy with PayPal, and your support—
Wow, I've learned a lot in this. It's a lot I didn't know. Wow. Well, that was a good video, Kennedy. Thanks for recommending that. Wow. Jeez. Imagine. Wow, that's just a bit speechless just after learning all that. Yeah, yeah, there's different versions of American Graffiti. There's a very interesting video just knowing, because I don't look at a lot of the behind the scenes stuff when it comes to movies and things, so learning all that, wow, just blew me away. Um, okay, so we'll look at ARC Troopers video on. Oh, hey, Dennis, how's it going? Oh, wow, really? Oh, wow. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Did not know that. Okay. So we'll look at Geetsley, Clone Wars. Whoops. There we go. All right. No, it's all good, man. It's all good. All right. Let's check.
Many Star Wars fans, us included, grew up on Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Yeah, not really. The micro series was what I grew up on for the most part. And well, the multimedia project, but I didn't know the multimedia project existed as a kid. But I grew up on various like multimedia various projects from it, like Star Wars Bounty Hunter, the Clone Wars, the 2003 Clone Wars game, the micro series, Republic Commando. You know, I mean TCW.
The show was a terrific take on one of the most turbulent periods.
Oh, he's talking about this.
Periods of Star Wars history.
He's talking about the micro series.
But believe it or not, there are actually even better takes on the Clone Wars era.
Okay, I just made myself look stupid. He was talking about TCW.
We're not talking about the 2003 Clone Wars micro series here either. The best set of the Clone Wars stories come from a comic series that most of you have likely never heard of, though you might be familiar with some of the battles.
The Republic comics. Man, that should have been what the TV show George made. It's a damn shame.
Of this series. This comic line was called Star Wars Republic, and it presented a dark, gritty, and extremely compelling version of the Clone Wars that stands head and shoulders over all other depictions. In this video, we'll be discussing why.
Skip the intro. What? Okay.
Titled Sacrifice. Sacrifice has a pretty...
He's just going to talk about the comic issues.
Completely caught up in losing sight of day, like everyone else in the galaxy.
I just want his opinion. What's his opinion? I don't want him to review it.
Have
Look at Alpha 17. Oh, geez. I gotta check the comment section. I watched all of TCW. Unfortunately, I liked it as a kid. Well, I guess like when I was in like 3rd grade or something, like around that sort of age range. And then I never watched it again. And then when COVID happened, I was like, oh, I'll watch TCW. I didn't get past the first season. I didn't get past it. I tried so hard. I just watched it and I'm like, was it always this bad? But like, I would watch a few episodes of the other seasons. Like I didn't watch like I was trying to watch it season by season, but I didn't watch all of season 1, but I thought the rest of the show couldn't be this bad, right? So I watched like an episode or two of the later seasons, and it's just it's just not that good. Oh, cool. Yeah, we'll check that next. Yeah, oh, you enjoying it? Republic comics are, I mean, I like not just the Clone Wars stories, but the one with Kiadi Mundi. God, that I always find that name hard to say. That's pretty good too. Like, I know that's like before the Phantom Menace and stuff, but it's pretty good. Oh, you should, man. Like the Republic comics. Oh, amazing. Oh, the omnibus is good. Yeah, as long as you read it, doesn't matter how you get it. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll check that out next. I didn't know he did that wrong. Yeah, that's pretty much what I experienced. Like as a kid, I liked it, and then, like I said, I tried watching it all during COVID. I couldn't do it. Oh, the Republic comics, man, great stuff.
Being consumed by the Clone Wars. If we had to distill Star Wars Republic down to a single message, that would be it. The comic shows the corrupting influence of the Clone Wars at their worst. How the endless bloody,
Okay,
at least
I mean, we all know.
clones and Jedi.
Oh yeah, and there was. I remember. Wasn't this labeled as the third? No, was this labeled as? I remember Wikipedia labeling this as like the third battle for.
Throw away their
or
lives
something.
with many of the series. And quietly reveals his answer.
Okay, so he's just going through. He's not really giving his opinion. Like we know he likes it. We'll watch his Keanu Mundi video. Yeah. Is this the one? This is the one, right? He didn't make a follow-up video. Let's try it.
Among Star Wars fans, Ki-Adi-Mundi is largely known for his sizable head, his role as the leader of the Galactic Marines, and his concern about the droid attack on the Wookiees. But there was more to his character than being a meme. As a matter of fact, Ki-Adi-Mundi was actually a pretty terrible guy, the embodiment of all the flaws of the Jedi, and above all, an utterly heartless man.
What? Heartless? What? He read the Republic comics. How could he say he was heartless?
In this video, we're going to look into why all my homies hate Ki-Adi-Mundi.
What comic is this from? Is this a Disney comic?
And why he damn well deserved to get shot in the back. This video is brought
I don't care about your sponsor, dude.
in the December 1998 comic Prelude to
How
the
could you say this while acknowledging this comic?
Rebellion, the first issue of what would later be renamed Star Wars Republic. He's a very well-known character, but despite his infamy, many don't know a lot about who he was. We get very little about him in the films, and aside from landing at Point Rain, his appearances in Star Wars The Clone Wars were limited. Among Clone Wars fans, he's primarily known for having been the general in charge of the Galactic Marines, an elite clone unit led by the brutal Commander Bakara. In the past, we made videos about Bakara and the Marines and questioned whether they would be a good fit for Mundi, repeatedly concluding that Mundi and Bakara had two fundamentally different tactical outlooks. But while there were many ways in which Mundi and Bakara differed, being a piece of trash wasn't one of them, as we'll see shortly. First things first, let's take a look at Ki-Adi-Mundi's highly limited role in the movies. He generally only appears in
Yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah, I mean, I don't think TCW is like TCW was sort of like we got an early snippet of Filoni's like creative to like quote unquote creative talent. Now we just see it in full force. Yeah, he says that.
Jedi Council scenes, but there's a pattern to those appearances. He's always screwing things up. In The Phantom Menace, when Qui-Gon first reports his battle with Darth Maul, Mundi was the first to deny that the return of the Sith was a possibility. In Attack of the Clones, Mundi...
Well, I mean, after Acolyte, shouldn't he have known?
Mundi denied it was possible for Dooku to have been behind assassination attempts on Padme Amidala because he used to be a Jedi, and was thus incapable of such things. In Star Wars The Clone Wars, he convinced the Council to ignore Duchess Satine's request for Republic aid, was the first to accuse Ahsoka Tano, and nearly prevented Yoda from learning about Force Ghosts. Lastly, in Revenge of the Sith, his insistence that the Council focus on Kashyyyk led to Yoda going away from Coruscant at an incredibly crucial moment, thus dooming the Jedi Order. But why was Ki-Adi-Mundi so catastrophically wrong so often, and what does this have to do with him being a terrible person? Both him being terrible, as we'll get into in a moment, and him always being wrong were the result of the same flaw. He was the embodiment of the failures of the Jedi Council. Like Vrook Lamar before him, Mundi embraced the detached, dogmatic, and incredibly judgmental perversion of the light side that the Jedi Order often strayed toward, and it reflected both in his actions and his worldview. The worst effect of this mindset, and the reason why we think Mundi was so terrible, is how detached it made him. Now,
Can you provide is he going to provide an example?
Emotional detachment was a large part of being a Jedi. One needed to put emotion aside to focus on the will of the Force. That isn't the same as being totally emotionless, however. As Anakin Skywalker said in Attack of the Clones, emotions like love and compassion were actually encouraged, as the Jedi recognized the importance of emotion in life. What the Jedi warned their students to avoid were strong emotions like passion, anger, and jealousy, and they also considered it important to consider any and all emotions secondary to the will of the Force. But Ki-Adi-Mundi apparently didn't get this nuance because he was a total sociopath.
What?
Ki-Adi-Mundi either didn't allow himself to feel any emotion at all, or he denied that he felt emotion, neither of which was a good thing. While we know of no cases in which this made him overtly cruel, we do know of plenty in which it made his actions tone deaf at best and morally questionable at worst. When his whole family was murdered during the Clone Wars, he passed it off with a shrug. When Anakin was mourning the supposed death of his master...
Okay, what comic? What book? So I can look it up, because this... What?
Mundi's advice was that he just move on, and when his friends and comrades died of terrible wounds they had...
So we're just gonna forget about when Anakin came back from Jabim? We're gonna forget their interaction?
Received in battle, he passed it off as just will of the Force. To understand how truly
How does that make him a sociopath?
messed up Mundi was, we need to take a look at his backstory. Ki-Adi-Mundi was born on Syria, a remote, undeveloped world in the western reaches. His people, the Syrians, abhorred technology and maintained little contact with the Republic or the outside galaxy, though they were well aware of both. From birth, Mundi was seen as special, as the Syrians had extremely unbalanced birth rates, with a gender ratio of 1 male to 20 females, making male children a rarity. But while the Mundis were overjoyed by their luck in having a boy, young Ki-Adi put them in danger as well. In those days, Syrian raiders roamed the countryside attacking farms in a bid to kidnap young boys, and for 4 years, the Mundis lived in fear that they would lose their son. For this reason, the Mundis gave up Ki-Adi to the Jedi Order when the Wandering Knight stopped on Syria, as they hoped he would return as a knight to destroy the raiders. Despite being much older than most young Force sensitives, rank of Jedi in the Jedi Council, filling a seat vacated by famed Jedi Sentinel Micah Giet. Ki-Adi-Mundi was a Jedi Watchman, which meant that he was permanently assigned as the protector of a sector and responsible for handling troubles within it. He was assigned to the Samagi sector, which included his home planet of Syria, to have The Chad Ki-Adi-Mundi had 5 wives and 7 daughters between them, and he didn't care about a single one of them. This is where we get back to the point of Mundi being a total sociopath.
Are you sure? Because it doesn't... I do not remember... What? Okay, this is...
Further dates. At one point in the battle, Guild leadership even authorized the deployment of the Gosam commandos to assassinate the planet's political leaders, throwing local governments into chaos and leading to even more bloodshed. Many Syrians died in the Battle of Syria, and among those murdered were Chiarimondi's entire family. Now, most people would be pretty despondent at just losing one member of their family, never mind 12. Even Jedi mourn the deaths of those who were dear to them, but Chiarimondi? Nah. He just didn't care.
What?
In fact, the reason we know about his family dying in this battle is because he told the story to Anakin Skywalker after the Battle of Jabim. And do you know what his point in telling was? It was that Anakin shouldn't mourn the deaths of so many of his friends because he had just lost his entire family. And since he wasn't bothered by it, Anakin shouldn't be bothered by his losses either.
Bro. What? What the hell? Oh, this is such a... What? Okay, I think I've had enough of this. God damn, that's bad. That is...
Among Star Wars fans, Chiarimondi...
Yikes. That's not good at all. No, so he's not a sociopath. Like, that's just... Yikes. All right. Has anyone got any more videos to recommend? Any other videos you guys would want to tear apart on stream? While I'm waiting, I'll just... let's go. Let's see. DSP. Oh my god. It's been a while since I've watched anything about him. Okay. All right, let's check that out. Lord. Sure. Whoa. 48 minutes. Oh yeah. Max Payne 3 is really good.
Ja, that is me und mein beautiful 262 in the spring of 1945. Und that behind me, that is a 2,000 kilogram bomb, tiny little wings, tow bar, and some skateboard wheels. You're probably wondering how I got here, yeah? Well, it's quite the story, and we will need to go back to the beginning. Sorry, can we drop the accent now? Hello. My name is Lord Hardthrasher, winner of most creative use of a second-hand adult toy, the 1999 Hellfire Club Annual Supper, and sometime commentator on history on YouTube. Today we're going to spend some quality time looking at the development of the ME-262, which was certainly one of the jets of World War II.
Oh, yeah.
The problem with looking at something like this is that basically every single source you look at is either a lying...
Imagine being a pilot and just seeing, this flying around, trying to take you down.
Nazi or an apologist for a lying Nazi, and you can't trust anything that any of them say. Also, every hack historian commentator on the internet have become completely obsessed by the supposedly advanced technologies that the Allies found in the wreckage of the Nazi state. The 262 is touted variously as the first jet in the world, which it wasn't, the first fighter jet in the world, which it wasn't, the first operational fighter jet in the world, which it wasn't, and a weapon which could have turned the tide of the war, which it couldn't and didn't.
No.
Because Germany lost, because the Nazis committed atrocities on an industrial...
Because if it could have turned the tide, it would have.
Scale, because millions died opposing Hitler's war of conquest, because no one quite wanted to admit that they supported the war or, God forbid, enjoyed it. Literally every single record you touch is tainted in some way, being written or said by someone with an agenda a mile long, many of whom are lying about what they did and why they did it. A bit like a couple who've rented a lonely cabin in the woods, today you and I are going to descend into the basement of World War II lore and look at the native burial ground that lies therein. We are not going to do speeds and feeds, nor the 100 most dangerous missions of the war. We are, however, going to look at the politics and the development of the ME-262, look at whether it was actually much cop as a jet, and what impact it actually had.
Actually, before we continue with this one, Okay, so we'll check out. I actually wouldn't mind checking that out as well. Mandalore. So where? Okay. Oh, whoops. I guess I can't. Okay. Oh, here we go.
Hey folks, Tad here, taking a bit of a break from my regular lore videos to talk about the Fate of the Old Republic trailer that dropped the other day. My first thoughts when seeing the trailer was, is this the first piece of true expanded universe media we've gotten since the reboot?
I doubt
And
it.
upon seeing the wreckage of an interdictor-class cruiser, which is similar to Darth Malak's flagship, I thought surely there's no way they could make this game a successor to the Knights of the Old Republic games while existing in the post-buyout continuity. But the rumor mill keeps spinning, as it always does, and all day at work I've been scrolling through threads of people's theories and hypotheses, and of course things that people have heard or read about the game apparently 1 second after the trailer dropped. The prevailing rumors seem to be centered around the game taking place entirely within the post-buyout canon, which I will refer to as the Disney canon from here on out for time saving, while others think that'll be purposely ambiguous so that it could fit into both the Legends canon, which I view as derogatory and will refer to as Expanded Universe canon or EU, and the Disney canon simultaneously.
Would that even be possible?
Those of you who don't know, the game is meant to be some sort of continuation. We don't know yet if it's going to be a direct sequel or some sort of spiritual successor to the two Knights of the Old Republic games from the early 2000s, made by BioWare and Obsidian respectively.
Oh, Obsidian. Obsidian, man, they used to be like Fallout New Vegas. Oh, God.
Those games told two stories within a larger continuity. At the time, it was just called canon, but you know it today as the Expanded Universe, or Legends, as it was rebranded after the Disney acquisition and subsequent timeline reboot. I've talked at length about this on my old Captain Fordo channel, but the problem with Fate of the Old Republic and the other two KOTOR games themselves supposedly being part of the Disney canon is that there are certain events in the EU canon that are referenced in KOTOR that don't happen at all in the Disney canon. For example, in the first KOTOR, there's a Mandalorian character named Canderous Ordo, who talks about Mandalore's mask, a mask that is passed down to determine the leader of the Mandalorians, known as, surprise, the Mandalore, and it becomes a central focus of his character after the first Knights of the Old Republic game, as Revan helps him find Mandalore's mask so he could become the new Mandalore.
But then isn't in Disney Star Wars, it's the Darksaber instead? Isn't that the Disney Star Wars version?
And reunite the scattered clans, as we see him lead in KOTOR 2. However, in the Disney canon, there's a Mandalorian Jedi named Tare Vizsla, who makes the most edgelord lightsaber imaginable, the Darksaber, and whoever is holding the Darksaber gets to be the Mandalore. You can start to see where the problem is here. Nothing for nothing, the physical galaxy itself is different between the two continuities. Some planets that exist in the Disney canon don't exist at all in the EU canon, and some planets have completely different ecologies and cultures. Take Onderon, for example. Its appearance in Star Wars The Clone Wars and Bad Batch, which is Disney canon, hardly resembles the planet's appearance in Knights of the Old Republic 2. And yeah, alright, maybe 4,000 years is long enough to change the layout of the city of Iziz, but it's not long enough to make all the trees on the planet purple for no reason.
No.
Okay, purple trees are
Unless you come up with some sort of contrived reason.
a bit nitpicky, but I'm just giving one example of hundreds that would make this new game difficult, some would say impossible, to fit within the Disney canon, if it's indeed meant to be a sequel to the first two games. Others have
I'm sure they'll just say, "Oh, the events happen," but the events happen. But you know, the planets and stuff depicted are just the Disney version.
Pointed out that the dreaded Knights of the Old Republic remake that was announced some years ago, then pushed back, then maybe cancelled, then maybe brought back, was supposedly set in the Disney canon, so this game probably will too. But we never really got a definitive confirmation that the KOTOR remake was/is going to rewrite the game to fit within the Disney canon. For all we know, it could bring the game into a modern engine, filled with modern graphics, mechanics, and animations, while staying 100% faithful to the source material. But then you see who was heading the remake, and you can understand why nobody friggin' wants it. I mean, apart from the casuals who don't know any better.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
Unlike the KOTOR,
Wasn't Sam Maggs the same person that said that Call of Duty didn't have any recognizable characters? Because I'm pretty sure she worked on Call of Duty Vanguard. That's my only knowledge of that person.
remake, Fate of the Old Republic, is being headed by Casey Hudson, who worked on the original KOTOR games as well as Mass Effect, so there is some argument there that the game could actually be faithful to the source material. Then you have those who say that the game is going to be ambiguous as to whether it's Disney canon or EU canon, and that creates problems in of itself. You can't have it be a direct sequel to the first two games and not have it reference events and characters that transpired in those games. Same goes for if you have it set exclusively in the Disney canon. Well, the first two KOTORs only exist in the EU canon, so you have nothing really to actually base the game off of.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna go with Dave Filoni's logic of campfire stories, then I guess that's probably how they'll justify it. Yeah, I mean, I should find that clip. I'll look it up.
I can see why some would be thinking it would be safe for Lucasfilm Games to go the ambiguous route, as Lucasfilm itself has spent the past 10 years gaslighting and misinforming the fandom to make the EU look bad in an attempt to make their own failures look not so bad. But the vast majority of Star Wars fans aren't EU exclusive fans such as myself, or Disney canon exclusive fans, who will just straight up not buy the game if they go one way or the other with it. A vast majority of Star Wars fans are more casual, who either like both continuities, or, more often than not, don't care or even know about continuity at all, and just want a fun Star Wars game with swoosh swoosh sabers and pew pew. Basically, the losses would be negligible whether they decided to go the Disney canon route or the EU route, as I think both EU fans and EU haters are so small a minority that it doesn't matter if a couple thousand people don't buy the game. The casuals will still buy, and that's where they make their money from.
That is true.
As optimistic as I want to be, I can see where everyone else is coming from. I can't sugarcoat it. Lucasfilm has treated the EU and its fans like utter garbage since the reboot back in 2014, and ever since, the only pieces of expanded universe media we get anymore are a few small SWTOR expansions, maybe a one-off comic that spends half the time mocking the source material, and a couple of Black Series action figures every now and then, whenever Hasbro decides to throw a bone at us.
Throw me a frickin' bone here.
But we haven't gotten any new stories on the same scale as a full game, novel, or comic series, as, since the reboot, Lucasfilm seems to not want to go anywhere near the EU with a 40-foot pole, and prefers to distance itself from it, which feeds into many's, including my own skepticism that this project will be EU. My highly naive hopes for the game is that it's meant to be a direct sequel to Knights of the Old Republic 2, and in some way acts as a bridge between it and Star Wars The Old Republic MMO, and that it remains wholly faithful to the expanded universe canon and opens new fans to the EU, and maybe even influences Lucasfilm to look at it more as a legitimate alternate timeline than a non-canon trash heap. Mando can dream, can't he? As I said, the first two...
Yeah, but then it's like, well, what if they end up wrecking it? You know? Yeah. Like, look at that. You got heaps of characters from Call of Duty. I can't find the clip. I don't know why. I can't seem to find the clip where Sam Maggs says that Call of Duty doesn't have any recognizable characters. Let me try again. No, can't. Maybe if I try Google. Oh, here we go. The statement was made by Sam Maggs during a 2021 New York Comic-Con. Okay, so this is the quote, right? I don't have the video. There is a video, but I can't seem to find it. But this is her quote. You know, when you think about a game like Halo, you think of Master Chief. But when you think of COD, there's not really those standout characters. It's like, hold on. I don't think it's... share this tab. Here we go. Okay. Okay, it's working now. I can see it. Yeah. So, yeah, as you can see, this is her quote. Just shows that she never played Call of Duty. I can't find the video for some reason. There is a video. I remember watching it back when back in 2021 when Vanguard was coming out, but that's Sam Maggs for you. So if that's how she is with Call of Duty, could you imagine how she is with Star Wars? Yeah, okay, we'll check that out. Okay, let me just... Okay, there's your channel. So what was it called? What was the video called? If it's got a copyrighted song, I probably can't play it. Where is it? What's the video called? Star Wars Tribute. Okay. Let me just share my screen. Probably a smart idea if I shared the screen. Where's my tab? There we go. It's the one. It's from a fairly smaller band. Okay. Okay, then we should probably get away. Probably should be able to get away with it. It's this one, right? The one you did 3 years ago? Star Wars Tribute. Okay. Got some good footage here. This is all I can. And just the CGI, I love it. I love the footage.
Tonight the streets are red lights, I'm blue and blinding. No sign of the good doctor, but the sirens where the wine and towers have been found. I can almost hear the hounds.
Unreal footage here.
What kind of man built a machine to kill a girl? No, he did not use his hands like a smart man. He used it to
Oh yeah, in the afterlife, they got rid of the Asian
doesn't matter. When I say he was a monster, when I set fire to his name, it does not matter where you hear it from, whether truth or lies, get said all the same.
Yeah, I've noticed. One of that Darth Vader and Padme. Oh yeah, and MW2. We've done that a really good remaster is pretty good. I like the remaster. I can see why it's pretty good, man. The band's name is, yeah, Proto Man.
From the moment we first met, if there ever was a time, if there ever was a chance to
Yeah,
undo
exactly.
the things I've done,
And they were
wash these
discarded
blood stains
too,
from my hands. It is past and been forgotten. These are the paths that we must take. Cause you and I, Tom, we are men, and we can bend and we can break. If you think that you can run, if you think that you can stand, will you forget who turned this city on? You forget who plugged this city in. They'll not switch it off again. One by one, they're tuning in.
Exactly, yeah. Pretty good. I like the editing. There's no like pointless bits you can't say. Like, good stuff. Good stuff. Nice. Wow, that's pretty good. Oh.
Merker. Bridge, this is Grand Admiral.
Is this part of...
Set course for the planet Merker.
Merker, Admiral.
The first piece of the puzzle.
Ooh, okay.
May I ask what exactly this puzzle is?
Aye. The only puzzle worth solving, of course. The complete, total and utter destruction of the rebellion.
That's cool, man. Oh, Darth Angelus. Oh, guy is a legend. Oh my god. It's like no matter how many... I don't watch Stranger Things. Why is it recommending that? No matter how many times I turn off autoplay, it just... I don't know. I might have to restart the browser or something. The Beach Boys. What? What do you mean? What's the lore of the band? Is it like murder or what do you mean? Yeah, it is good. It's good. So that was Dennis Medina. Let me just bring up his channel. Just subscribe. Yeah. Got some good stuff here. On Soprano. Wait, no, is it? No, I thought that was Sopranos for a second. She kind of reminded me of Soprano's daughter. The daughter. But yeah. Oh, is that Starship Troopers? That's from Starship Troopers, isn't it? The book. The Death of Stalin. Oh, I've seen that movie. It's a pretty good movie. King Kong, yeah. Good movie too. Suicide Squad. Yeah. So that was Medina. Dennis Medina. Check out the channel. Yeah. Yeah, the book. The book's pretty good, but I will admit, like, the Starship Troopers movie is probably the only time that a movie deviated from the source material that actually worked out pretty well for it. So Charles Manson wrote a song, Brian. Oh, what? Jesus. Oh my god. Oh man. Yeah, that is some pretty messed up lore. I like pre-MCU Marvel. I mean, I don't hate the MCU, but it's all very uniform in my opinion. You know, like pre-MCU is very uniform. I mean, sorry, not pre-MCU. MCU films are very uniform. Whereas a lot of the pre-MCU Marvel stuff are all unique. Yeah, I like it as a movie, but as an it's not a good adaptation, but I like it simply as a movie. Yeah, I've heard people say that Charles Manson's song was good. Like he actually wrote a good song. Didn't he pass away? Is he dead? Let me look it up quickly. Oh, he died in 2017. Okay. 83 years. Oh my god. Yeah, sure, Tripper, go for it. Well, yeah, well, I think the problem with that is the money. I think the budget for the MCU, and I think even maybe DC, they're just crazy big, and the studio doesn't want to risk it with so much money. I don't watch Born Identity, so I can't really say. Yeah, yeah. What can you do? I mean, what he did to that poor woman. Anyway, I mean, he didn't do it himself. He brainwashed people, but you know, his actions led to what happened. But you know, anyway, yeah, sure. Like, yeah, sure. Arc Tripper. What kind of video? What Marvel video is it? Um. Oh yeah, I've seen that short. It's pretty cool. Oh my god, a lot of lolcow stuff. Okay. Yeah, Arc Trip, if you want to post the title of the video in chat, I'll check it out. Oh, is this Starship Troopers or Born Identity? Because I don't know anything about Born Identity, but the Starship Troopers book. Oh, that's great. It's a good book. It has not. It should get a proper adaptation. Well, oh, dude, it's. I mean, it's funny up until the Blue Spike saga. The Blue Spike saga is probably the messed up. It's probably the messed up one, but it really goes downhill in 2011 when you reach 2011 when his father died. It's just depressing from that point. Current Christian law is pretty scarce because there's these people called the Praetors. They control him now. They are deliberately like controlling what he posts when he appears like on social media. Like, I don't know, they're just egotistical. I guess they get off on people being upset that there's no Christian law. I don't know. No new Christian stuff. Oh yeah. DSP. Oh my god. It's pretty funny. Like, it's been a while since I've looked at DSP, but I think the last time I looked at DSP was when King Casino. I think is that the name of those guys, the casino guys. They were pretending to be his friend, and then they just turned on him. Okay. The comic that changed Iron Man forever. Okay. Let's check that out. Comic that changed Iron Man forever. Oh, I've seen this be recommended to me. Is that the one? Is this it? Yeah, it has to be. It's got the same title. Oh, we got full screen. There we go.
We all love Iron Man. He is arguably the most badass superhero there is. He was the character that started the MCU and acted as the face of it for over 10 years.
I will say one thing. Ironheart, I haven't watched it, but I saw that one clip of where the main character, she says Iron Man, I'm paraphrasing, but Iron Man got to where he was because he had money. Tony Stark only became Iron Man because of money. But then it's like, okay, well, what about that suit he made in the cave? He didn't have money. He had scraps. I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I interpreting what she said wrong? Or because that's just when I heard her say that, I'm just like, have the writers not watched the first Iron Man film? He didn't use money to build the first suit. He was captured by the man, not the Mandarin. The Mandarin. It's not the Mandarin, but the people that the Mandarin, the group he's in charge of, he's captured by them. And they just give him scraps and they're like, here, make us a weapon or something, you know?
Years. When you Google the word superheroes, Iron Man is definitely one of the first results that you will get. But that wasn't always the case. The 2008 Iron Man film starring RDJ was a phenomenal success and skyrocketed Tony Stark's popularity.
The thing is, the 10 rings, yes, that's the one. Yeah. That's the one. And again, I mean, I love geopolitics. I wish they explained, because I'm pretty sure that it's in Afghanistan, right? How are the 10 rings operating when the Taliban run Afghanistan? Do they fight each other? Are they aligned? Like, what? Anyway, I'm a geopolitical nerd, so I wish I got an answer to that question. Scrapes and weapons. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, if that's the case, then alright, that's fair. I haven't watched the show, I only just saw that clip, so. Maybe. I mean, that'd make sense. And then again, the film came out in 2008, so I'm not surprised that we don't get, like, any reference to the Taliban, but I'm just a geopolitical nerd, so. In the original comics. Oh, wow. Okay, the Viet Cong did it. Oh, wow. Okay. That's pretty cool. I've never read the Iron Man comics. Like I said, I'm pretty casual, but I am changing that. I'm reading, like I've got a website that I'm just downloading all the comics from. It's gonna, I don't know how long it'll take me to get, because I'm at the moment I'm doing a cutoff, so right now I'm just reading the comics up until the Disney buyout, and then after I read those, I'll read the comics after that. I'm just doing it in sections. But man, I've got a lot of reading to do, which I'm excited for. It was written in the 60s. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's get back
to the
the video.
mainstream, to the point that even my 90-year-old grandpa would be able to name the character if I showed him a photo. But going back before the film, Iron Man was nowhere near the top of the most popular superhero list.
Oh, no.
Nowadays, if you ask someone to name the big three of Marvel, there's a good chance that they will say Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. But back before the MCU, in the late 90s to early 2000s, the common consensus was Spider-Man, Wolverine, and the Hulk. When I was growing up, majority of the Marvel promotional material...
Yeah, I can attest to that. Like, growing up, I didn't know Iron Man existed until the MCU. Like, I knew Wolverine, I knew Hulk, I knew Spider-Man, I knew Daredevil, I knew Captain America. Like, all the heroes we're seeing here, I knew they existed. I didn't know Iron Man existed until the MCU.
Back then featured those three characters. I remember I used to have a giant Marvel poster in my childhood room that featured hundreds of characters from the Marvel comics, and Spider-Man, Wolverine, and the Hulk were the focal point. That poster was from 2007, and in 2015 they made another one, and as you can see, the focus is much more on Tony, Cap, and Thor. Although Iron Man wasn't at big 3 levels of popularity yet, he was still on the rise, appearing in more animated shorts and being featured on the cover of video games. The mid-2000s was a time where Iron Man was on the rise, which is what led to him getting his movie debut. But in this video, I want to talk about the comic that started this rise to fame. Comic book characters have been around for decades, so over that time period, there have been a multitude of characters.
Oh, wow. So Iron Man and the Punisher share the same retconned origin in the books. Originally, both were Vietnam War survivors. Later retconned into Afghanistan. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I can understand why they did it. I mean, those types of retcons I can agree with. Really? Apparently, the body double for Punisher appeared in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2. Yeah. Sing Kong. Oh, wow. I've never heard of that place. Never heard of that. Yeah, fictional country. Yeah. I know, I think Kevin Feige at, like, this, Disney Marvel thing, he released the original ending for Iron Man, where, Nick Fury mentions Spider-Man, the X-Men. So, I mean, it just, like, obviously Iron Man was made before Disney bought Marvel. Like, could you imagine? Like, I'd imagine that before Disney bought Marvel, they had it all planned. They had Fox agree to have the X-Men in. They obviously worked out, like, the deals and everything for Sony, for Universal, for Fox. And then when Disney bought Marvel, obviously that all changed. Maybe Fox and Sony and Universal wanted more, and because Universal, so the Hulk was in the Avengers, but I imagine Fox and Sony probably tried to renegotiate the contract or the deal or whatever the word is used, but obviously Disney just either wasn't game or I don't know. I just think had the Disney buyout not happened, we probably would have seen either Andrew Garfield Spider-Man or the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in the Avengers movie. And probably the X-Men as well. I mean, but then I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong.
Who have had at least one really great run that included iconic moments. Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Daredevil, the X-Men, the Teen Titans. By the 2000s, all of these characters had iconic costumes, villains, and panels that have stood the test of time, but Iron Man never really got that treatment. Sure, there were some interesting stories and art here and there, but nothing that screamed iconic like the other characters. That was until 2004 when Marvel released Iron Man Extremis, written by Warren Ellis with art by Adi Granov. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I think that's how you pronounce it. Correct me if I'm wrong though in the comments. This comic was basically made to modernize the character of Tony Stark because no one really gave a shit about Iron Man. Tony originally got shrapnel in his chest when he was in Vietnam, so in Extremis, they changed it to the Middle East, making the character much more relevant to a post 9/11 world, which is obviously what we later saw in the movie. I mentioned the word iconic earlier, and I want to get back to that because I think that just might be the most important aspect of a comic book superhero. You could have the greatest writing in the world, but if your hero doesn't look cool, then no one's gonna even bother picking the book off the shelf. In 2025, we could all say that Iron Man is visually iconic, but that look was spawned in Extremis with Adi Granov's incredible hyper-realistic art. Extremis is an amazing story, and trust me, we'll get to that, but I just would recommend you read this comic purely because of how great the art is. It's super gritty and completely feels like a Hollywood movie when you're reading it. The suit design is absolutely beautiful and upgraded Iron Man from a costume to a piece of armor technology that feels like it could be real. Granov's art art was so good that Jon Favreau brought him on to do the concept art for the film, so
Oh.
this comic and its art directly influenced the future of the character's look and aesthetic. Okay, I think I've glazed the art enough. I think it's time I actually talk about the story of Extremis and how it changed Tony as a character, laying the groundwork for the one we love today. The first thing that I want to analyze is the opening when we first see Tony. Tony is a billionaire who could sleep in the nicest bed in the nicest penthouse in the world, but the first panel we see is of him sleeping in a messy lab where it looks like he was just up all night working away at making upgrades to the Iron Man armor. He's awoken by a phone call that reminds him that he has an interview with a documentarian named John Pillinger, who is basically a fictional version of Michael Moore, a filmmaker who makes political docs exposing corruption in the American system. When Tony goes to get ready, he stares at himself in the mirror, asking, "What are you looking at?" Then,
what happened to Michael Moore? He was like a big name in the 2000s. You don't hear about him anymore.
saying, "I hate it when you look at me like that." Immediately, Extremis sets up that Tony has a guilty conscience and is deeply unhappy with himself. As the story cuts to one of Stark's headquarters, we see a group of protesters outside carrying signs saying, "Guns don't kill people, Stark does," giving one of the biggest reasons for Tony's guilty conscience. Tony used to make and sell weapons to the military, and he has blood on his hands, which is exactly what John Pillinger is about to interview him about. Also, I just want to give you a quick side note for context. Tony has been Iron Man for a while at this point, but the public doesn't know it yet. They just think he is a suit that Stark Industries built, and it's Tony's bodyguard. Tony has distanced himself from being an arms dealer and is interested in making a positive change through being Iron Man. As the interview begins, Tony asks Pillinger what the film is called, and he replies, "Ghosts of the 20th Century." The two go back and forth, and things begin to get heated as Pillinger brings up how Tony's weapons have killed innocent children in Afghanistan, and asks him how the Iron Man suit is any different from those quote-unquote defense weapons. Now, this next page is just filled with top-tier writing, so I'm just going to read it word for word, because I think it's very important for Tony's character going forward. "I never claimed to be perfect. I always knew that there would be blood on my hands. I'm trying to improve the world.
Yeah, very clearly. This influenced the MCU Iron Man. It's pretty cool, man. I'm looking forward to reading this comic when I get to it.
Thanks for your time. I'm curious, actually. If you know my work, why did you agree to do this interview? Me first. Why am I a ghost of the 20th century? Because your arms work of the 90s still haunts the poverty and war-stricken countries that they were deployed in. I wanted to meet you. You've been making investigative films for what, 20 years now? I want to ask, have you changed anything? You've been uncovering disturbing things all over the world for 20 years now. Have you changed anything? You've worked very hard. Most people have no idea the kind of work you've done. Intellectuals, critics, and activists follow your films closely, but culturally, you're almost invisible, Mr. Pillinger. Have you changed anything? I don't know. Me neither. It's been an honor to meet you, Mr. Pillinger. Thanks for your time, Mr. Stark." This interaction perfectly sets up the mentality of Tony Stark going forward. A man who is haunted by his demons but desperately wants to change the future for the better. Tony calls out Pillinger, acknowledging that his work is important and brings awareness, but questioning if it actually has made any difference. Tony knows that with his power, he is actually capable of making one. He just needs to figure out how. The villain of Extremis is also very interesting and was the inspiration for Iron Man 3. His name is Malin, and he is a domestic terrorist who stole and injected himself with the Extremis virus. Extremis completely changes your biology and makes you insanely dangerous. Think of it as like the super soldier serum, but on crack. He commits a deadly attack on an FBI building, killing tons of people, which sparks Tony to go after him. Malin mirrors Tony as he is what Tony fears becoming, a dangerous piece of technology with unchecked power. While Tony wants to use his power to save people, changing the world for the better, Malin hates the world and wants to tear it down. This fight between the two of them is a defining turning point for Tony as it humbles him, making him realize his armor isn't strong.
Okay, I'm willing to bet this is a guy who was in the Gulf War in the 90s. And it's like he's connected to Tony's actions in the 90s. I'm willing to bet that's
long enough. It's limiting. He is a man controlling a machine that has power, while Malin's body itself has the power. Tony gets his ass handed to him. Malin is just simply quicker and stronger. Tony is in critical condition and chooses to get airlifted to the lab where Extremis was created instead of a hospital. He wants to be injected with a dose of Extremis to level himself up and defeat Malin. Tony no longer wants to be a man controlling a machine. He wants it to be a part of him. As the procedures start, Tony is put into a coma, and it is here that we get the iconic origin that we all know and love. These panels were basically adapted right onto the screen for the first Iron Man movie. We see Tony waking up in a terrorist cave and meeting Ho Yinsen after getting shrapnel in his chest. And you know the rest. I know I said I was done glazing Adi Granov, but my god, this is some of the coolest, most satisfying comic book
Yeah.
art that there is to look at.
Oh,
When
this
Tony
art is
wakes up, the
amazing,
Extremis
dude.
successfully
God
integrated
damn.
itself into his body, completely leveling him up. Tony is now able to control the Iron Man suit straight from his brain. He no
Whoa.
longer needs to pick up and put the armor on, now it just flies to him when he wants it to, making him the ultimate weapon and a true invincible Iron Man. This completely changed the possibilities of Iron Man's abilities, as we see in the future comics and the MCU as his character progressed. A now completely upgraded Tony tracks down Malin for an epic rematch of power and ideology. This time around, Tony dominates. He is now quicker and stronger than Malin could ever be and drops some of the hardest lines at the same time. You know why you frightened me? Why I had to deal with you myself? I made the first version of the suit to save myself and a friend from criminals with guns. I must have killed 50 people trying to free us, and my friend still died. A stray bullet went through the side of
Damn.
the hut, killed him instantly. My folks died the same way, and you killed 50 people you never met 20 years later. You're my nightmare, the version of me that couldn't see the future. Some murder-happy hillbilly who never in his life had a thought about what these tools are for. No matter how clear it is that he can't be the new Iron Man, Malin doesn't stop fighting. Tony pleads for him to stop or else he has to kill him, but he doesn't, and Tony is forced
This
to deliver a
art
killing blow.
is so
Tony
good.
kills the thing that he most feared becoming, fulfilling a line that he said earlier in the series. All I have is making the future and stopping the
Ah,
animals who
damn
want
it.
to take that
My,
future away from people. To me, that is the
I guess
core
I
of
was
Tony's
wrong.
character. A man who will stop at nothing to try and better the world because he is still haunted by making it worse in the past. And at the end of the story, Tony is finally able to look at himself in the mirror. Extremis is a masterpiece of superhero storytelling in my opinion. I would highly
Oh,
recommend
it's cool. Yeah, so it got a motion comic, right? It got a motion
you
comic.
guys
That's
start reading
cool.
some Iron Man comics because they low-key have way more interesting stories and set pieces than the MCU trilogy does, even though I love it. Iron Man Extremis is the perfect jumping on point for the character, and it's only a short 6 issues, which paces out like a movie. From there, I would maybe recommend reading Civil War, as it helps you understand the role that Tony played
Oh
in the
yeah, I
comics
know about
universe at that
Civil
time
War.
period. And then after that, I would highly recommend you read Matt Fraction's Invincible Iron Man run that started in 2008. I'm reading through it right now, and so far, the first few story arcs have been super gripping, and it also has some awesome art for the armor. I really hope this video inspired you to get into reading some Iron Man comics. He may not have the deepest collection of high quality runs like some other characters, but he has some really incredible and honestly underrated stories that I hope you guys check out. This mid to late 2000s era of Iron Man is just super nostalgic to me. Like, I remember having posters and sticker books that featured the art from Extremis with the triangular arc reactor. As much as I love the MCU and RDJ, I do kind of miss this more gritty Iron Man aesthetic. Either way, there's no questioning if the character is iconic or not, so I just wanted to shed some light on Extremis, the comic that changed Iron Man forever.
Damn, well that was pretty good. I mean, I'm already like getting into Marvel and DC comics, but goddamn, I got a good Iron Man comic to look forward to. Oh yeah, because I was mentioning DSP before. Let's just quickly check DSP.
Oh, one thing that I did get that I'm actually looking forward to showing up, I actually bought a new pair of Gunner glasses.
Oh my god, yeah, good.
Yeah, that I actually am going to wear actively when I'm playing, because now I have this monitor like really close to me, and there's been a couple nights where my eyes have started to burn, and I think it's because the monitor is close and because like the fan is on, the air's blowing and dry my eyes out. So I actually have a new pair of Gunner glasses coming over the weekend, and I'll probably start wearing those on and off. I'm not going to wear them every stream.
Oh my god. He's still babbling on about the same shit. Kino Casino, that's what it was. I thought it was King Casino. It was Kino Casino. I remember when they well, I guess they were pretending to be DSP's friend, but then they just turned on him and exposed everything. It was hilarious. Anyway, yeah, the Armored Adventures. I remember that show. I've got it. I downloaded it the few months ago. It was pretty good, man. It's a shame. I think it only had like 2 seasons, which is a shame. It should have had more. Anything else? Hmm. Let's see. Oh yeah, Starfield. There's a mod for Starfield, Star Wars Genesis. I've actually played a bit of it. It's pretty good. But then, you know, it's full of if you really like, it's full of Disney Star Wars weapons and stuff, but then there's also expanded universe stuff in it as well. What the fuck?
Star Wars voiced to fit Star Wars lore.
Any attempt to draw a blaster will
Oh my god, isn't that from Star Wars Outlaws?
result in the separation of your skull from your torso.
But I'm just joining Constellation again, the Imperial-sponsored Explorers Guild Constellation from Starfield. So I abandoned that because it felt weird to me. I didn't feel oriented yet, and I started working on getting myself properly exploring as fast as possible,
cool.
an objective that, spoiler alert, leads to me hitting a Jawa with my car. But it started with me going to the ship vendor on Coruscant, where I had a small heart attack.
I need this more than I need oxygen.
Suddenly, I had a very compelling reason to continue playing this mod.
God, look at the glow on that. That looks incredible.
So to make money, I decided to join the Rebel Alliance, which is done at their capital, Aquila City, Dantu Town.
Hello, fellow Rebel.
Sorry. Spaceport's always a zoo.
I understand.
Yeah, I will admit it is pretty cool. It looks cool. I just wish we had one like that in the expanded universe. Oh, okay. So they wanted it to run for 2 seasons. Well, that's good. I'd rather a show have 2 seasons. I'd rather they make a show that they purposefully want to have 2 seasons or 3 seasons rather than have it go on indefinitely and then just end with, you know, a cliffhanger like some other shows.
Fellow Rebel.
Misa cannot see 10 feet in front of face in this thing, but Misa see own feet. So, net positive?
I also discovered that the blasters in this mod make your heart explode.
Oh.
I think that's Starfield. I think that's a bug with Starfield more
Tango
than the
down.
mod.
So this is where I started to get a little bit sucked into this mod, unironically. And I just wanted to visit all the planets I could and see what was out there.
There's Hoth. Oh man, we got a long way to go to get to Hoth. Kashyyyk, maybe? Oh, Kashyyyk is only 2 planets away. Final column, so...
It felt like any other Starfield planet, which is to say, depressing. And I got worried that every other planet would feel that way too, but when I landed on Tatooine, I experienced a level of wonder that should be impossible. In the words of Mohandas Gandhi, I was buckets.
What?
For a big-eared rodent takes a blaster to my channel, but...
Akbar! Hello there. Oh, sorry, did I kill him? Oh, this is new.
Today, I hope you got a chuckle out of it. I will link the install...
I mean, that's pretty ambitious. Well, that's pretty good for a mod, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty ambitious. I think Fallout New Vegas had a mod like that. I don't know if it's still being made. Let me look it up. Star Wars mod. Fallout New Vegas. Here we go.
Axeman, I have a confession to make. It again, but anyhow, I do have a number of
what?
Tell from the intro.
Okay,
and
that's
we're gonna
not
head
it.
on in, and I'm gonna teach Axeman about all my new friends.
That's on it.
My sweet hot rod.
Alright, I'm sorry. We'll probably have. Oh, hold on. I think this is it.
Star Wars Open World.
I actually first encountered Star Wars Open World quite a while ago, actually. I've been keeping my eye on it ever since I joined a server called the Creator Network. When I first seen the Star Wars mod, I was sitting there just in awe because I was like, how the hell is this mod not being covered? So I actually sent, because I was during, I thought, I would love the opportunity to enlist in the Empire as part of like this whole dark side story, or maybe grey. Honestly though, outside of this, I can just imagine myself becoming fully immersed in this world, or worlds, as we'll get into in a little bit. Just having that potential ability of role-playing as
Oh,
an
it's
American,
cool.
just shooting ability of
They're from the Force Unleashed.
playing as American, just shooting up some stormtroopers, just sounds absolutely brilliant to me. Star Wars Open World will be set across numerous planets. Despite this, the game will actually be entirely open world, meaning you can freely move around between these planets, or at least that's the impression I got. When it comes to the planets, you can expect a good number of recognizable Star Wars worlds. Right now, the team has developed 12 planets, I think, with the intention of creating as many as possible. Tank Girl, the project lead of the mod, says that a few planets will be mandatory for the story, which makes me think that all these other planets will just be completely optional to visit and you don't need to pay them any mind whatsoever. But, you know, if you want the good shit and you're a completionist and you want to do all the side quests, go to the planets, experience them. What's pretty cool is that after you complete the mod, or at least the game's introduction, you get access to every planet off the bat. Which means you aren't really forced to go down a linear path where you have to unlock planet by planet, kind of like the Outer Worlds and other more linear RPGs. Most, if not all, of the planets as well are popular Star Wars locations such as Tatooine, Hoth, and Kashyyyk. Another cool thing to note about this mod is that it won't use any assets from the base Fallout New Vegas game, so everything you see on screen was created entirely for the mod. Tank Girl has listed a few things you can expect in the mod, which, if these are actually featured, would be absolutely amazing. These new features
there's the Cazadors, the Arc Beetles.
The mod that are listed are new crafting elements, a vast array of weapons, factions, multiple endings to situations, which is interesting, lots of side quests, a bounty hunting system,
oh my god,
plenty of player homes, new companions, and lots more. One thing that sparked my brain there, just for a wee second, you can probably hear it in my voice when I was reading it, bounty hunting. In Star Wars. It sounds like a beautiful dream came true. I really hope they do go all in with this system. I do hope they just completely just do it up, and to be honest, I just want to live in my Mandalorian Boba Fett like fantasy. I want to be in a spaceship, go to different planets, and hunt for this guild. That's what I want to do. Another cool feature of this mod is the character creator, because you actually get to choose what species you are. We don't really know what kind of species you can be, but if I were to take a guess, most likely the ones you see in the screenshots, which means you can play as a Wookiee.
Okay.
There will also be joinable factions in the game, like I said before. Who these factions are, we don't really know just yet, but if you're a Fallout fan, you can definitely cook up a few ideas. One of them being the Bounty Hunting Guild, for example. There you are. Each faction has their own bundle of side quests, and also
I haven't seen any Disney Star Wars stuff yet.
I'm curious if it will be like vanilla New Vegas, where you can't join, or at least be in too much favour with one faction, then try and join another. An example of this being, you can't be too friendly and join the NCR and then be like, okay, let's go join the Legion, because they won't like that. It's like trying to be a Jedi and then joining the Empire. It just doesn't work. This mod is just insane. It's just insane. The amount of ambition with it is just for the hype for right now. Don't get like too hyped when you see it. I know it's very easy, because when I'm reading this out loud, I am getting hyped myself, but I really just want to tell you guys, okay.
That's amazing. How did they get the game to work? How did they get the game like it? Vegas is notoriously buggy, so I think this is more impressive than that Starfield mod. I'm not gonna lie. All right, guys. What else have you got? Any other videos you guys want to have a look at? I just went off track. I saw the Outer World Star Wars mod, and then what do you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking? Oh my god! Wow, there's cut content. So they were going to have Captain Marvel, She-Hulk. Wow. The Lost Years of Brian Wilson. Okay.
You guys writing music again? Oh yeah. Is Brother Brian at work? Are you? Let me get over there. Let me see this guy. Have you written any songs lately, Master?
As I've covered in my previous videos about the Beach Boys, it's widely known that Brian Wilson, the band's enigmatic lead singer, songwriter, and producer, struggled with mental illness, particularly in the period after the band's early success in the first half of the 60s, and that he spent a large portion of the 70s, 80s, and 90s in various states of mental decline, releasing little to no music. Whether it was the 2.5 years he famously spent lying in bed.
You were in bed for over 3 years, weren't you?
Oh, yeah, 2.5, 3 years. I hibernated.
Or the prolonged abuse he received at the hands of Svengali-like therapist Eugene Landy. The common narrative surrounding this portion of Brian Wilson's career is that he lost not only the drive to keep working, but that he also lost the spark of genius that gave his music such dense, multi-layered richness and beauty. That seemingly God-given talent, which made albums like Pet Sounds and Smile such groundbreaking advances in pop music. But if you dig a little deeper, you'll learn that not only did Brian Wilson continue to innovate and compose during these lost years, but that some of this work is right up there with the music from the Pet Sounds era. From the post-Smile era, American Spirit, the Bedroom Tapes, all the way through the Landy years, the compositions themselves are nothing short of miraculous, so I'd like to show you some of my favorites. Starting with the period in the Beach Boys' career where they were transitioning out of their early surf aesthetic. It was 1966, and by this point, the hippie movement was in full force. Bands like Simon and Garfunkel, Bob Dylan, and the Animals would come to define the latter half of the decade, bearing little to no resemblance to the innocent, sock-hopping surf music of the Beach Boys. The age of fun, and surfing USA had evolved into a more socially conscious landscape of raw, psychedelic rock, which played into the hopes and fears of a generation.
#GetWoke.
But of course, the #1 band in the world was still the Beatles, who had just released Revolver, and were on the cusp of releasing their psychedelic masterpiece, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Brian had already triumphed with Pet Sounds, and in 1966 he was smoking a lot of weed and taking speed, and he had just recorded Good Vibrations, the first Beach Boys album to sell 1 million copies. Having recorded it in an experimental modular style, he felt like he could do anything, so he hired writer Van Dyke Parks to write lyrics, and together they came up with some crazy shit.
Smile is experimental music.
Smile is unbelievable. It's the most amazing thing I've ever heard.
Oh, man.
I believe he described this project as a teenage symphony to God.
I actually heard him say, "One day I will write songs that people will pray to."
Oh man, this music.
And a lot of people feel like Smile was a more original album than Pet Sounds was.
Wow, okay.
We're trying to create the mood of early and mid-Americana, as the music would have been then.
Complete with antique sound effects.
I hope I don't get smashed for copyright.
I had some beads similar to these. They were not exactly these beads, and that's what he wanted.
And the words say, a diamond necklace played the pawn, hand in hand some drum along, to a handsome mannered baton. Well, had to do with poverty and wealth.
A blind class aristocracy, back through the opera glass, you see the pit and the pendulum drum.
Columnated ruins, domino. Old music was dying. New music was taking its place with a sense of purpose.
At least the new music, yeah, like in that time, was something to look forward to. The new music now, I don't know, man. I don't like.
I told Van Dyke Parks. I asked
a lot
him
of the
actually,
current music.
What does
this passage of lyrics mean?
I said, quite frankly, I don't know.
He says, I haven't a clue. So to me, I'm thinking, well, logically, we have an audience. We have a song. We were trying to portray something. Don't you want to relate to that audience?
Hey, they don't mean a damn thing, but they create an image.
The glass was raised to fire, it rose the fullness of the wine, the dim last toast. While I poured unto our time, a choke of grief, heart hardened I, beyond belief, a broken man too tough to cry.
As hard as it is to believe, the other Beach Boys did not like that.
What?
When they returned home from a tour of England, they basically shut the project down.
Oh, that's wild.
They felt that the music strayed too far from the formula that originally brought the Beach Boys success. And this would be the dynamic between Brian and the other Beach Boys for decades to come.
When the boys got back from England, I mean, that was the major no.
They said, hey, that's too creative. We don't like that. And I said, well, give me a break. I'm trying something new.
They came into town as triumphant heroes, and they found that the town had changed. You know,
Oh, yeah, I could definitely
people
see
had
that
moved
now.
into their life
Here
with
and there.
Brian, strangers. They weren't part of any Beach Boy history that they knew of. I think they were ready to really start kicking some butt as the Beach Boys. And bingo, they run into this whole new thing. I mean, I totally understand how they could be nervous, scared, and pissed off.
This is too arty. I said, no, it's not. I said, we need an album like this to prove that we can make good music.
So due to resistance within the band, the album costing too much money, and Van Dyke Parks quitting, the album was officially shelved, with the other Beach Boys cobbling together material to make a kind of compromise album called Smiley Smile, which is actually a good album in and of itself. It just gets a bad rep for not being Smile. But it features a lot of songs that would have otherwise been on that album, just in a very stripped-down version. This was during a phenomenon in the mid to late 60s of bands eschewing the overproduction of their psychedelic albums and returning to a more raw, gritty style of live rock. Bands recording songs as a group in a single take, like the Beatles with the Let It Be film. The Beach Boys had their own version.
If I only had a little. If I only had a little. In Hawaii.
Oh, man. Imagine had they actually done Smile. What could have been?
Smiley Smile is also cool because it has a song called Wind Chimes, which is originally from the Smile sessions. The first version is happy and uplifting, played on a xylophone. It has almost Gershwin vibes.
Hanging down from my window, those are my wind chimes.
And then a year later, under tons of mental duress.
Hanging down from my window, those are my wind chimes.
I saw him go from this thin, gorgeous young man to a 350-pound, you would never recognize him. And he lived literally in his bathrobe, in the bed, for a number of years. And when we would see him, he would go scurrying by, not say hello to anyone, and go scurrying back with a plate of food or something.
You know, he had a way of, all he had to do is walk upstairs and just completely tune out to everything.
In the late 60s, the Beach Boys produced a string of strong albums that went largely ignored. The number of live bookings for the band shrank.
Brian did continue to write and produce during this period. It's just that the other Beach Boys didn't really put his songs on the albums, and to their loss.
Without Brian's participation, the group became a ho-hum, not selling records, precipitously low concert rates.
Thank you, and now we would like to do a song from our Pet Sounds album recorded 2-3 years ago.
The band continued recording, but the vibrations were not so good.
Well, I think the band fell out of favor because we had the surfing Doris Day image.
An image Brian had long since abandoned. And yes, even though Brian was still contributing to the writing and production of albums like Wild Honey and 2020, he was no longer making those executive decisions for the band that decided their artistic direction, like he used to be.
How do I feel knowing love is away? How do I feel? No
Good stuff, man. It's just, if only it had gone.
Brian spent most of the early 70s writing songs the public would never hear.
I'd go up there and I'd be fractured. It would be so brilliant. But that would be enough for him, the reaction. You know, it went #1 in his living room. He's done. The song would disappear.
Or would it?
For birds like it, and he goes, little one. And the dad comes and he goes, little one, oh little one, yes the world's really round, and the bluebird you seek will surely be found. And if children could fly, there'd be no need for birds. And it goes, 'cause on the day you were born, this something like that.
He was rapidly spiraling out of control at this point, even as a new dad. Clinically, it's said that Brian Wilson suffers from severe depression and schizoaffective disorder. In order to keep him working during this time, his wife Marilyn had a recording studio built in their house, where he eventually formed a new band with her and her sister Diane. They called it American Spring.
It's got a Brazilian, R&B, and a country influence in it. And that's sort of the bag you're in. You're just in a bunch of bags, and I'm glad that we could have got some of them in.
While the other Beach Boys were recording Holland, Brian was focusing on being a father, and his music was starting to have elements of spoken word. I always wonder if he had heard the music of Captain Beefheart, who also frequently used spoken word.
Snored like a red merry-go-round horse.
Probably not, because Brian's poetry was much more fairy tale-like.
Dancing back and forth, the magic transistor started moving down his path. He could hear the sound coming out like nothing he had ever heard before.
His drug use at this point was daily, and there was a serious fear that Brian would eventually overdose or harm himself. As a desperate means of guilting him to get well, the other Beach Boys would occasionally fire him from the band.
What specifically is Brian's role then in the group today?
Meanwhile, Brian was getting really into Randy Newman.
And his 1972 album, Sail Away, reignited Wilson's interest in contemporary music.
He hadn't really come out vocally about any rock and roll for a long time, since Rubber Soul, which is like December of 1965. And here it is 1972, and he embraces Randy Newman's Sail Away.
In America, you get food to eat. You won't have to run through the jungle and scuff up your feet.
And there's a definite similarity between this and the music Brian was making at this time.
You just think about Jesus and drink wine all day.
The wind was blowing through my hair. Sunlight chased my cares away. And the sun dances in the morning sky.
You may have noticed his voice sounds pretty different.
Okay, so it's 30 minutes. I don't want to watch. I don't want. Yeah, because it's 30 minutes. I gotta wrap up soon. So we'll do. Actually, what we'll do is we'll continue to watch it because I'll be streaming tomorrow. So what we'll do is we'll watch 11th, 12th. Oh my god. Next stream. that way. That last song was last year was the same. Yeah. Oh, I'd imagine with all the drugs. Because I'd imagine like, oh, see, that's sad though. Like, that's knowing that, man. Like, and it doesn't help that he had that awful fucking guy. I don't even want to utter his name. He doesn't deserve that, but yeah. God damn, man. He deserved better. Brian deserved a lot better. That's for sure. Okay. Well, actually, yeah. Well, I'm not going to give him. I'm not going to utter his name. I'm not even going to give that the oxygen and energy that I'd need to utter it. But I think I'm going to put it to a close now. I got to start heading off. Got some other things to do today, but yeah, that was a good stream. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Hope you guys had a fun time. I sure did. It was good chatting with you all. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with another stream. Probably, yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow will be good. And yeah, I hope you guys tune in tomorrow. Yeah, you too, Kennedy. It was good having you around. I hope you tune in tomorrow. If not, it's all good. So yeah, have a good one, guys.